Good Tuesday morning, everybody. John and Lance along with Dell here for the next 3 hours on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. And off we go. Talking more draft because, well, it's so funny. We talked for 4 months about this draft.
Yeah.
And then it's over. Recap Monday. Okay, now next. What's up? No!
There's still stuff.
There's a lot of stuff
we
to
didn't,
talk
We didn't
about.
get into it as much as we could have, and I'll take into a little bit more, just a little bit more depth on all the pertinent players. I mean, there's some guys in the draft that I wasn't crazy about for the Texans. It happens every year. I mean, I've just got my own opinions, so it doesn't mean I'm right. I just have a difference of opinion. There's some guys that I absolutely love, but one thing that I do want to say has really taken place here over the last 2 years is there was a lack of cohesiveness with philosophy from the Rick Smith and Bill O'Brien days. There wasn't a real cohesive philosophy where you things didn't, and so a lot of that has to be on Bill O'Brien, frankly, about what type of players, what did Texans look like. I don't think there was a good feel for that. And then, I think Brian Gaine, who's big into that kind of stuff, who's in Buffalo, by the way, Matt Bazergan, Brian Gaine, A.J. Highsmith, Alonzo Highsmith's son, they're all over there with Brandon Beane in Buffalo. They got a phenomenal staff. But Matt Bazergan was...
I didn't understand them not getting a couple of wide receivers, though. Just one.
Buffalo?
Yeah.
Didn't they get one?
They got one.
Yeah. Yeah, they got one. Well,
And this was a deep wide receiver draft. Some people are criticizing the Texans for not getting one as well because you've got two guys that are possible free agents or are free agents next year, after this upcoming season. And, you could have had a guy, maybe one of the Yankees sticks. I don't know. We'll see. But that's a reach if it does.
Well, an undrafted free can make fifth wide receiver. That's not crazy.
Yeah, but you know what? You're going to be.
I don't
you
know
might
if
be
Noah
looking for a
Brown's-
1 or 2 next year.
Well, yeah, but the Texans had, would you rather them draft a receiver for the future or go get a position that they think they need now, like safety, nickel, cornerback? Now, I guess your argument could be they could have drafted wide receiver instead of tackle and Blake Fisher.
Yeah.
And then, some people were saying, what about A.D. Mitchell, drafting A.D. Mitchell there? I just don't think they won. I think they had a very
we'll find out how good he is.
So this is the thing. I think the Texans have a philosophy of what they want to get. Now, it does raise a question, maybe. And this isn't really. I'm just curious, how fluid are the Texans if the boards change dramatically? If somebody's on the board they didn't expect to be there, do they go in with an idea? Okay, Laster's the guy that we want in the second round, but do you have you had discussions about what if Mitchell slips there? Because who knows if the pick would have been, could the pick have been Kool-Aid McKinstry, the cornerback out of Alabama? I don't know.
Had Lassiter higher rated.
Well, didn't Kool-Aid go ahead of him?
No, Kool-Aid was there, wasn't he?
Did Kool-Aid go? I think Kool-Aid went ahead of him. Yeah.
Okay.
Cooper DeJean. Okay, is it DeJean or DeJean? I've said it. It's DeJean. Yeah. Kool-Aid went before, right? Yeah. So Kool-Aid went one spot before. I am curious.
Oh yeah,
if they would have taken.
Yeah, but they traded up to get Kool-Aid, right? Yeah, somebody moved ahead of them
because the Texans. Well, that's what happens when a team knows your needs.
Yeah, exactly.
Then they'll move up. Almost always when a team moves up, they're moving ahead of a team that they think could draft their guy.
It went to DeJean, McKinstry, Lassiter.
Yeah, so I wonder, how the Texans viewed that because I think they could have viewed DeJean as a corner or safety for this scheme. I think it would have been corner in this particular scheme. Kool-Aid McKinstry, did they have him valued more than Lassiter? I would hope so. Because he can play outside.
Okay, so
but Lassiter makes more plays on the ball.
So
really
here are the guys that would have been possibilities for the Houston Texans right there. Okay, I don't know about Max Melton. How'd you have him?
No, I mean they're the same position.
He went right after him.
Yeah, they're the same position.
Okay, Edrin Cooper, we talked a lot about. I didn't think linebacker would be a smart move there. Jonathan Brooks was not too far after.
They're not going to draft
Chris Jenkins, Mike Sandra still, A.D. Mitchell, Michael Hall Jr., all of these guys.
So I had heard they liked Hall. He might have been the pick. So Hall may have been the pick at the back end of the second pick. Now Michael Hall has some football character issues that had people dropping him a full 2 rounds. So he may not have fit the I'd heard they liked him. So I think they may have taken a chance at the second pick of of the first
Rakestraw was there.
Well, they didn't
what
like
about
him?
Javon Bullard? I think Javon Bullard is going to be a
I love
really
Bullard,
good player.
but he's kind of a caught between big nickel, that star position, and which in college you'll see like Petrie played it, where you're a nickel, but you're there for run support. Like it doesn't really translate as well in the pros. I don't know that Bullard. He's somewhere between he is a good football player. He's really plays the Petrie position. Like if you got rid of Petrie and told me Bullard's the guy, oh man, I'd be happy. I just don't know if you could draft Bullard when you already have Petrie.
When you have Petrie. So Blake Fisher goes 59, and Rosengarten, who you were high on,
went
that? Behind him.
Who?
Roger Rosengarten.
No. I didn't like Rosengarten.
Oh, you didn't?
I like Fisher. Yeah, Rosengarten I thought was going about there, but I think my grade on him was like
I thought you liked him.
No, I don't like Rosengarten.
Oh, okay. What
I
about
like Fisher.
Sumataya?
No, I think he's no thanks.
No
I
thanks.
put him in a third. No, Fisher is my highest rated. They got my highest rated tackle at the spot.
Oh, they did.
Oh yeah. But I'll tell you something.
All right.
I was He's from a talent standpoint. Fisher was I had him as a 2-3. That's where he went. He was in the tackles had already been pushed up the board. 100% they got my best tackle.
Well, obviously the Texans may have. Sean Payton intimated that he kind of moved the needle on the trade ahead of. Because he was,
I want to hear that.
He was saying that he had something to do with them moving up.
I
and
was a
getting
little
JJ
uncomfortable with that whole conversation about how Sean thought he got over on everybody.
Right.
Like
with Bo Nix, I was listening to your little draft show, Dell, and you don't think that Bo Nix is going to start for the Broncos in Game 1? You think it's going to be? Yeah, I heard you guys talking about it, and you were like, I don't know. Bo Nix is probably not going to start for them in Game 1. Did you? Is that? I'm almost positive.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I don't remember. If I did, I don't remember.
He claimed
I
like
was like,
Roger
well,
Rosengarten.
who else is going to start?
Isn't Stidham on that roster?
Yeah.
You
think they're going to start Stidham on
I'm
the
sorry,
number
that's
12
Tad,
overall pick?
That's Tad Brown's son-in-law.
Well, I know.
They're going to start
How'd you
Jacoby
get
Brissett.
your little hockey tickets?
And by the way,
did Tad help you with hockey tickets?
Yes, he did.
So who do you think should start now?
Well, if he helps next year, because Frankie was loves the Devils. I think Stidham should start every game.
Exactly. I'm not sure that his draft status means anything. Is Drake May going to start in New England?
Yes.
Is
there's a difference. No. Jacoby Brissett is different than
Stidham.
Stidham's taken snaps in one football game before.
No. Stidham is different.
What about
Brissett was a starter in the league.
So is Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah, not really.
Oh,
not really.
He's a starter because somebody else failed.
When did Jacoby Brissett start games other than when someone was suspended or hurt? No one.
Doesn't matter. He did.
So did Stidham. Stidham started games too.
But Brissett started a lot more.
And did those go well?
In New England? Yeah, he beat the Texans.
He
beat the Texans.
Well,
he said that first.
He ran and beat the Texans. Right. No, but he didn't look. He actually didn't look bad in Cleveland at times.
There's
or in Indianapolis at times.
Yeah,
he's a quality backup.
4 to 5 games of Brissett where that's okay, and then diminishing returns.
Yeah, I mean like a backup.
Yeah, he's what he is. He's a backup, and Stidham's a backup too.
Well, he's got 48.
I will say this,
but he's got 48 career starts.
I'm going to tell you this. I think Nix is going to be pretty good with Sean Payton.
It's the best possible
it's the best.
spot.
I mean, he's a
when
77% completion percentage.
He's 100%. It was the best spot. I'm like, the one spot that I feel really good about Bo Nix would be if Denver got him, but I thought, okay, well, this isn't possible because they don't have a second-round pick, and they're not taking him at 12. Basically, Denver just said, okay, we like him. So they thought the same thing. We do like him. Look, his tape's really good this year.
And by the way,
it's really good.
He was player of the year.
I don't even remember saying what John said I said, so I'm just now playing devil's advocate. I don't remember saying Bo Nix wouldn't start. I don't remember saying
I don't remember saying I liked Roger Rosengarten.
I don't remember saying that.
No. I remember that.
There are two other guys on
because
that.
I was going to text you at the time and say, well, that's stupid.
Had you had any drinks?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's be honest. I probably
Your
didn't
Honor,
say that.
strike to remove.
Because why would we be talking about Bo Nix on a Friday?
You did. You guys were talking. Okay, never mind.
Exactly.
Hey, you said
you
it.
did.
You said it.
I didn't say it.
I got somebody else
who
just
sent
just
you want to go back and listen to the tape,
somebody
you go
just
back
sent
and listen.
something.
You're accusing me. You go back and listen.
They just sent something.
Who did?
The people said Dell said it.
Dell did say
the people.
Oh, is that on Twitch?
It's on a different platform. It's
He's
on
lying.
Super Truth.
It's
Okay?
not a thing.
Yeah. No. You did say it, but okay.
No,
never
I
mind.
didn't.
You didn't say it. Though.
I didn't. Thank you.
Okay. Right.
Street
Okay.
said it. Street said it.
You absolutely said it.
I did not.
We have got sound from Blake Fisher. It was an interesting pick in that, and you think that this is not a guy who's just going to walk in and he's automatic backup. This is not Charlie Heck. This is not a Charlie Heck situation.
Well, he may beat Charlie Heck this year, but they're drafting him to put heat on Titus Howard. And in the second round, you're drafting him to be a very good swing tackle who takes over for either left tackle or right tackle in the near future. And who is more likely to go in the near future? Right tackle. Because 2024, after 2024, you can cut him and save actually $2 million. So after this year, if he didn't get it together, he's gone. If he plays well, then good. Then they'll have a good swing tackle. Then Blake Fisher will play. I don't think he'll be a guard. He's never played guard. He's only played. And, of course, Nick Caserio said, hey, you don't just put people at guard, which is true. They got to have certain elements to their game. But I don't think they drafted Fisher. They didn't draft Titus Howard. Now, did they give him the extension? Nick did. Did D'Amico give him the extension from a timing standpoint? I'm trying to remember.
Was it before D'Amico?
No, I think D'Amico was there when they gave it to him, right?
I don't remember.
I have to look at the extension timing, but they
July
can get
26th of last year.
Okay, so D'Amico was there. Now he'd never coached the guy.
Yeah.
So they gave him the extension. That would have been Nick's decision because Nick knew him. And they were rewarded with injuries. And it happens, but he was injured last year. I think his play at guard, he's clearly a one-position player at right tackle. Maybe he can swing and play some left tackle for you. Can't play guard. We're 0 for 2 at guard.
Yeah.
Just not a run blocker. He's not built for guard. So, for me, based on what I like in Blake Fisher, based on what I see, Blake Fisher is going to take over that role. Maybe not this year, but he's going to be the new.
All right,
tackle.
here's Blake Fisher talking about he didn't realize that the Texans were on him. As a matter of fact, it was a little bit of a surprise.
I met with them during the combine. Had a formal visit with them, and then I would say I had a couple of Zooms with them. But didn't know the interest was this high. But love this opportunity, especially being able to be back with one of my OGs from college, Jared Patterson, and then young and upgrowing team. Just being able to contribute, just bring what I bring to the game, to this program or to this organization.
That's cool. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see as much money as they're paying Titus Howard for them to have to bring in right away. 8, 9, 10 months after they signed him to that huge extension, that they're bringing in competition for him is interesting to say the least. So Blake Fisher here, you liked him. You had him, and yeah. Jared Patterson is his OG.
Yeah, you have a guy backing up. One thing that I've really learned, and Travis, sit tight. That's a good question. We'll get to it probably on the other side, but sit tight. I see your phone call. 713-780-3776. One thing that I've come to realize through sitting next to Bucky Brooks is Bucky has really showed me over the last 3 or 4 years how tight end. I'll give you an example. Chris Ballard went to school or played football with Paul Chryst at Wisconsin. Paul Chryst is on the staff at Texas as for Sarkisian just last year as one of the analysts. One of those high-paid analysts. He's a former head coach at Pitt and was at Wisconsin for years. He leaned on talking to Paul Chryst on A.D. Mitchell. He's like, Paul, they went there and visited with Paul, and Paul gave his stamp of approval. You have, like, all the time, Jarrett Patterson helps give his stamp of approval on guys. Cade Stover it is amazing how often in the drafts there's a connection with a former a coach who used to be at a college that recruited a guy or something. Like, there's so many connections on draft picks so frequently that somehow there's one of those Kevin Bacon degrees of separation.
Well, I would admit.
Where there's a connection with the player and a coach who's now on the staff.
Well,
like
you'd
you
be
never
dumb
thought about.
if you're Caserio and not talk to Jared Patterson about him. You'd be dumb.
Yeah, it makes no sense. You want to get, and for Ballard had Paul Chryst on the staff who could tell you about A.D. Mitchell. Okay, this is the issues. He needs to be more mature. He's a good kid, blah, blah, blah. You got to do that stuff. And there's some guys who won't get drafted because the same conversations. They go,
oh, no.
Because I know a player who a teammate said, we do not need him in this locker room. Correct. It wasn't in this draft. It was in a different draft.
There's a lot of teammates on the give me the VIN thegimmythevin.com site, and there's
he's on TikTok. I saw
he's all
John
over.
Clay Wolf video on TikTok.
No, he's all over. You should all the videos that he's putting out now on X, all of the videos that he's putting out on TikTok. Dude, and he's talking, and he's got more knowledge than anybody about the car business, about the car industry, and he knows vehicles. You call him on his radio show, and I'm sure he's got a screen up there that can tell him which car that they're going to talk about, what kind of car is it, and then they'll pull up, maybe what it's worth or whatever. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but I mean, nobody does more. Nobody buys more. Nobody sells more. I mean, we're talking about billions. We're talking about billions of dollars worth of car buying and selling in the gimmythevin.com world right now. And here's the deal. It's so easy. You buy a car, or they buy your car. Gimme the VIN will come to your home. They'll pick it up. They'll hand you a check. Okay? That's how simple it is. You want to do it through your dealership, you can do that as well because of the taxes of you buying that car and the taxes of selling your car, all of those things. And John Clay Wolf can make it seamless, just like you're doing it through a dealership. So that's not a worry. You don't have to worry about whether or not you can buy it from him and not the dealership. Here's the deal. You're looking to sell your car, get more for it. It's seamless. It's easy. GiveMeTheVin.com. That's GiveMeTheVin.com.
You're back in the Veritex Community Bank Studios with John and Lance.
On ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
All right, welcome back here on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Continuing draft talk. It's Joey Loperfido Day here in the city of Houston as well.
J-Lo. I guess we'll call him
now we can't call him J-Lo.
We'll call him Jolo. That's fine.
Jolo. Yeah.
Joey only lives once.
So they got to make a decision. Who's your guess they're going to cut?
Singleton, DFA.
Yeah, I think they got to. I like the dude, but he's gotten a lot of money. He's got enough, to buy all the stuff that he wants.
I'm not trying to. The Astros aren't on the hook to support him for life. Well, he's an employee of the team, and he's not. They already have a bad deal with. They already have a bad deal with Abreu, and Singleton is just. Cut him. I'm sure he'll still be out there. If Loperfido doesn't work out, you'll be able to bring him back. But, DFA him. I don't know why you would keep a lefty. He plays one position. No thanks.
And he's not very
he doesn't even
good
have
at it.
like he's a power hitter who doesn't hit home runs for the team.
Yeah. That's
a left-hand power hitter off the bench without home runs. It's not good.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem right.
No.
So we'll find out what that is today. Cleveland in town. They're a really good team. The Astros with the 5th worst record in baseball. Fortunately, they got the 2 wins over the weekend. There's an article in the Chronicle today that this is what turned the season around. That trip to Mexico. We'll see.
I hope so.
Hope so. No, I mean this team is too good to be playing with it. They are. Plus a lot of days off now. The pitching should be rested. You're getting Javier back. You've got Fromber back. You've got Verlander back. I mean, it's time for them to really turn this thing around and actually start hitting with runners in scoring position. That would be great. Let's try that. Travis,
are the Guardians a real
here?
Are the Guardians a real baseball team?
Is what?
The Guardians an actual baseball team?
Yeah.
Sure they are.
As opposed to the Rockies?
They won a World Series in 2019. Maybe you forgot.
They did not. The Cubs.
No.
The Guardians win?
19?
The Guardians never won.
Oh,
The
not
Cubs
Guardians.
won in 16.
I'm going Nationals. I'm sorry. Nationals.
Yeah, the Nationals.
Yeah, Cleveland Guardians.
Beat the Astros.
Guardians
They're
have
different
not
than the
won.
They're not the same teams.
They kind of are. Guardians and Nationals, same teams.
They're very similar.
Yeah, very similar
In
colors.
my head, they are.
Yeah,
They both
change
their
names.
Well, the Nationals are just
No, the Nationals have been the Nationals.
Expos. Thank you.
What about the great Nationals player named Warren Cromartie?
Well, that's
Just like the great Earl Campbell who played for the Titans. Same thing.
What?
My point is, can a turnaround start? Can we start talking about a turnaround when they play an
The
actual real
Washington
baseball
Nationals,
team?
where used to be the Montreal Expos.
Yeah, we know that.
Warren Cromartie. It's the same thing with Earl Campbell. Titans great Earl Campbell. No, it's not.
Oh, it's really not. Can we please
Let's get Travis in.
Get serious and get Travis in here?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hey, 2 years ago, we everybody knew we needed a running back. We had the second pick in the second round, and Breece Hall fell to us. However, the Jets moved up and took him. Fast forward 3 days ago, everybody knew we needed a cornerback, and Cooper and Kool-Aid started falling. Why didn't the Texans move up and take him? I mean, if they needed it, which they did, they took last year. Were they so high on Lassiter that they said we're not going to do it? I mean, what's the deal?
Well, you're moving ahead of somebody who doesn't exist yet. They moved ahead of you, but how high do you have to go up to? Every time you like somebody, here's what I would argue, Travis. If you panic every time you see somebody on the board you like and you're constantly moving up, your picks vanish quickly. Like, you got to let the draft come to you. And also, if you have a guy you love, yeah, they would have moved up even earlier than that. They must not have loved Kool-Aid McKinstry because they felt they had the 42nd pick. I thought Kool-Aid would be off the board by the 36th, 37th pick. They would have moved up to 38 if they loved him. They wouldn't have taken a chance. So they obviously had them graded similarly.
I guess if he's asking the question, it would be about anticipating a run on corners, which we always hear about. We hear about, this GM anticipated a run, so he moved up before he could get snaked. Do you find value in being able to sense a run on corners, because we saw it happen?
You usually don't trade up. You'll notice this in the draft this year. You start trading up when the run starts. So as soon as one guy goes, then you panic and you go up there. But you can't just move. If you really valued, and that would have cost you, it might have cost you a third to move up, probably a fourth to move up from 42 to like 35. That's where the move is. You don't move up one or two spots. I mean, you can.
Well, people do. If you think that somebody's going to come up and steal your guy,
yeah, you do that, but not if you have players similarly graded. Not if you have a clump of 5 players and you say we like any of these 5.
Right.
We're not giving up our pick. That's exactly.
Well, how
what
much
happened.
more did you like Kool-Aid than Lassiter?
Well, I like them. Lassiter. I mean, I think they're similar players, but Lassiter doesn't have the athletic profile and size of Kool-Aid. But Lassiter makes more plays than a football. Kool-Aid's just big, can run a little bit at a 4.47, can play outside. Lassiter, to me, is only going to play nickel inside. So I had a higher grade on Kool-Aid by like almost a full round, but that's because Lassiter ran, and I'm afraid of that speed a little bit.
Okay, so Mel Kiper addressed that. He's on with Field Yates on their podcast. I don't know what their podcast is. I don't know. But Field Yates is who you will hear first. And then Mel Kiper, who they were talking about the AFC South. And they started with the Texans because Mel gave the Texans the best grade in the AFC South. And he actually addressed the Lassiter 40. You got it ready? Yeah. Here's Field Yates and Mel Kiper.
Let's go to the AFC South, where we had a range from the B+ to the C+. The B+ was the Texans. The C+ was the Titans. Mel, I actually think people would be surprised that the Texans, without a first-round pick, would land the highest grade in the division. What did you like the most about what Houston did?
Well, I liked a lot of I like the players they drafted. Kamari Lassiter, I had talked a lot about on this podcast. He's in the hip pocket of those receivers. He plays a physical brand of football. Yes, he didn't run 4.45. Who the hell cares? These 40 times drives me crazy, Field. A 4.5 is a bad 40 time now. It's how do you play? You can run a 4.5 and still play faster. You can run 4.4 and play like a 4.6 guy. Blake Fisher, had he been back at Notre Dame for another year, would have been a guy we were raving about. Kalen Bullock, I know Matt Miller, I know you talked about him a lot. I'm not as high on him, but in the third round, that's not bad. I love Cade Stover, former linebacker, defensive player at 265 pounds, ran a 4.65, caught the ball, blocked. He's kind of a throwback type of player that Texan fans are going to love. And guess what? C.J. Stroud's reunited with Cade Stover. I love that they did that. They didn't forget about one of C.J. Stroud's key guys in Cade Stover. Then, you go to later in the draft. I thought Jawar Jordan could be this year's Keaton Mitchell. I didn't think he'd run a 4.56. I thought he might run a 4.4. He didn't, but he played fast at Louisville. He was a home run hitting back who could catch the ball out of the backfield. Then you get a Marcus Harris late. At one point in time, we were talking about Marcus Harris maybe third or fourth round. So I thought they got some good football players, but I thought some of those guys early were a little underrated, Kamari Lassiter being one of those, and I really think that Cade Stover is going to be a key guy for C.J. Stroud. So both sides of the ball, they got help for a team that is ready to roll, maybe into the Super Bowl. Who knows? So, again, like I said.
That's rolling into the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah.
That's okay.
That's
what I took out of it.
Welcome to the train.
Okay, so
it's an unstoppable train at this point.
Back to one thing you talked about, Jawar Jordan. I didn't watch, obviously, all the tape that you did on him. You weren't that high on the pick. Boy, is he fast. Holy crap. It's every run that he breaks, and he broke a few big ones because I didn't watch all of his runs that you obviously he didn't. He had a lot of runs that weren't all that great. But the ones that he broke, he runs away from everybody.
Yeah, he's got speed. I had him borderline draftable, actually. He ran a 4.56 at the combine, so it doesn't look. But to the point you make, I mean, there's game speed, there's time speed.
Yeah.
Teams use GPS numbers, so they'll talk. Most of these college teams are using Catapult, which gives you the tracking, the wearables. That's what looks like the sports bra, and they'll go to the teams and get that data. So the 40 is really more for fans than media. To be honest with you, many teams now are translating. Many teams are using GPS data, the top speed data, and they're projecting off of that. I said small running back with thin lower half who plays much tougher than his size would indicate. Unlike most smaller backs, Jordan isn't as sudden or as explosive. He can be a step slow through the line of scrimmage and isn't going to be much of an added yardage back with power. However, Jordan runs with good vision, great processing, making smart cuts, and taking the most efficient routes he can. He can compete for a third down reps and has above average talent. As a kick returner, the lack of size will hurt his draft slotting, but he has a shot when he gets into camp. So vision is huge with zone scheme backs. Planting cuts at very crisp angles headed downhill. That's a classic zone cut back, and they ran outside zone. Becomes more elusive as the run gets past the second level. Lacks size and blitz pickup, but has the dog in him to do it. So productive working wheel and seam routes out of the backfield. I mean, just going through my strengths and weaknesses, you can see why they would like him. There's a lot of elements in here. Kick returner, third down bat, has third down potential as a pass catcher and blitz pickup, and then as a one-cut downhill back with vision. I mean, as I go through these things, these are the elements you look for late in the draft. So I don't really remember them. Like, I watched them, but I'm looking at my scouting report. I don't, I remember Guarendo, but Jawar Jordan was kind of the one that was supposed to be the one you're looking at, and then all of a sudden you run into a guy who's 221 pounds, ran a 4.33, and you're like, better. What's this about?
Mm-hmm.
What's this 220-pound guy running a 4.33? What's that about?
713-780-3776. You got anything that you guys want to talk about? You're more than welcome to get it in here. 713-780-3776, the number. I got to talk right now about Kent Jones, my man. He is geeking out about mortgages right now. I mean, he wakes up thinking about mortgages. And here's the deal: is he's smaller. Those big guys, the big mortgage companies that put their names on bowl games, man, they're just doing volume. Man, we just got to pump it out. Here, let's advertise and let's just pump it out, pump it out, pump it out, pump it out. Are you getting the kind of service that you need? I don't know that that's the case. I don't know if they're giving you the personalized service that Kent Jones is. I know that. They're probably not. They're probably not giving you that kind of personalized service because Kent Jones says, I'm only taking on so many guys. I don't have the overhead that they do. I don't have the office space that they do. I don't have the lights and all the employees and everybody else that I got to pay. I don't have to, you know what? I don't have to charge as much. He doesn't charge as much. I can work the deal as hard as I can because I've only got so many clients and I am going to make sure that they get the best. And you've got all of the Fannie Mae's and the Freddie Macs and the FHA and the VA, LTV, PMI, all of those different loans that you can get. He's got them, all those options. He's gonna help you find the best one for you. He's going to cut down on the expenses for you. He is going to make I'm telling you, make it a much easier experience for you. If you don't shop your loan, you're doing it wrong. And if you don't use a broker, you're doing it wrong. So let's go. The ultimate mortgage hookup, my man, is at Dream Rate. All right, Kent Jones, 713-520-5626, 713-520-LOAN, LOAN, or 975loans.com.
So I was at the hotel in Los Angeles during draft week, and after Friday's show, which was day 2, went back to the hotel bar and restaurant, grabbed something to eat, looked at the cocktail menu, and there we have a Maestro del Bel Añejo. It's a blackberry smash, Maestro del Bel Añejo, and it had the blackberry. It was mint and lime, blackberry. I don't know. It was good. But as soon as I saw Maestro del Bel Añejo, I'd never had it in a cocktail, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm getting this. It was fantastic. Maestro del Bel Añejo Reposado, a lot of times big-time tequila drinkers love that as a sipping tequila. It is a premium tequila that is at a much more affordable price than a lot of the other tequilas out there. But it is a high-end, make no mistake about it, it's a high-end tequila. It was made in Tequila, Mexico, and by generations. And the thing with Maestro Dobel is it's really the finish that is outstanding. Great flavor profile, but works well in cocktails too. Whether it's the silver, which is going to be kind of the standard tequila, the smoked silver, which gives it a little smoky flavor, the Cristalino, which is a blend of 3 different tequilas, or as I mentioned, the Reposado or the Añejo. All of them are going to make for great sipping tequilas and for great cocktails, apparently, because the Añejo, that blew me away. It's Maestro Dobel. Wherever fine liquors are sold, find it, buy it, put it up on your shelf, and enjoy a great tequila from Maestro Dobel.
You are listening to Houston's longest-running sports radio morning show. From the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's John and Lance.
You know, it will be interesting to see. The Chronicle did a depth chart of the Houston Texans right now after the draft, after free agency, and after the draft. Obviously, it's obvious what's going to go on. A quarterback with C.J., Davis Mills, and Case Keenum. I wonder if they keep all 3. That'll be interesting to see. Probably. They did last year. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And although,
yeah.
Because you needed Case last year, actually.
Well, you're still on rookie contract for. Yeah, I mean, why
you
not?
trusted Case more than you did Davis.
Case knows the. Well, maybe you want to get a better backup.
Well, maybe.
Well, that's too late. Who's out there?
Yeah, no. Maybe you want Case in that quarterback room too.
Well, I think you do. The question is, do you want to keep Davis Mills, who has some physical ability? But
I mean, when it came down to it, who'd you pick? You picked Case.
Well, when it came down to it, when Davis Mills came in games, they were 2-1.
Well, Case won the game, the one that CJ wasn't there for.
I know,
in Tennessee.
But they were when Davis came in games, they were 2-1.
Oh, okay. What, did he come and take a snap at the end?
A few, a couple,
no.
And also he had that one loss where they had to pull Case.
Yeah,
this Case
that's true.
Was not so good.
Not great.
They went to Davis, and it wasn't so good.
No, not great. Not great. Neither of them were great. Running back Joe Mixon, obviously. Pierce, Ogunbowale, and Jawar Jordan. You know what?
I don't know that they keep 4 running backs.
I don't think they keep Pierce.
Here's the problem. Ogunbowale they might trade him, but Ogunbowale is a special teams player too.
So, and Jawar Jordan can return kicks too,
yeah,
right?
but so can Dameon Pierce. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. It wouldn't be shocking though if they moved if they just said Pierce just isn't a fit in the offense, and they moved him for like a 7th round pick or something,
or whatever.
Because I think there's value in Dameon Pierce from another team.
And here's something with Jawar Jordan: if he's a kick returner as well, you can afford to let Steven Sims go from the wide receiver slot. Andrew Beck and Troy Hairston, they're going to keep, I guess, both. Nico Collins, here's where it gets interesting. Nico Collins, Robert Woods, Xavier Hutchinson, Stephon Diggs, Noah Brown, Tank Dell, John Mechie, and Steven Sims. If they keep 7, okay, then only 1 has to go. But if they keep 6, what do you do? They like Robert Woods a lot, but Robert Woods' production over the last 3 years has been, it's like he's not even the same guy that was in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even that. Noah Brown was much more productive. I mean, Robert Woods early on was catching some balls, but after that, it was nothing. Xavier Hutchinson, they really like on that reverse. They like to run him on that reverse a lot.
I don't see where the Texans. I've seen questions. We got phone calls. I've seen questions about what they're going to do at wide receiver. Like they could have used another wide receiver, but honestly, if you look at it from a team standpoint, you got 3 locked in. 1, 2, and you got Noah Brown, who was effective last year. You got Robert Woods, the veteran. You've now got the Janke twins as undrafted free agents who are coming in. One is a slot. One's the. I don't think the one who can play outside.
They'll probably be practice squad.
More than likely, I think Jaden will end up being a practice squad player. And we'll see who else. I got to look at the rest of the depth chart. We'll see if there's anyone else. Steven Sims, last Jimmy, he's on the.
I just said him.
Yeah, he is a return option. So, and you have people who could get cut in the preseason. So, I don't think that they're going to look at that as, obviously they don't look at that as a big need.
No. They didn't look at it as a need. It'll be interesting to see who sticks.
Yeah, it's going to end up being a potential need next year, but I think they almost have to lock in on Nico Collins now.
Yep. Dalton Schultz, Brevin Jordan, Cade Stover, Tegan Cantoriano.
So Brevin Jordan will be gone after this year. His rookie contract's up. They won't give him a second contract.
I don't think they keep 4 though, do they?
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, because they run a lot of 12 personnel. So is Beck still on the team?
Yeah, Andrew Beck's still on the team.
Okay, so this is actually a pretty good battle between, let's see, Dalton Schultz, Cade Stover, Cantoriano, Brevin Jordan, Dalton Keene, and then where's Beck? Is he at running back somewhere? I don't see him.
Fullback.
Oh, there he is, Andrew Beck and Troy Hairston. Man, that's a lot of fullbacks and tight ends. You're right, John. I mean, you can only keep one fullback. So you can keep one fullback, and then Dalton Keene probably, although Dalton Keene can block a little bit. It's interesting. There's actually some good competition. Catoriano's got his work cut out for him. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. I actually think he's a pretty good blocker in the zone scheme, but he can't stay healthy. So Brevin Jordan, Catoriano's probably odd man out right now if they go 3 tight ends and then they keep Andrew Beck as a fullback. There's 4 players who can play tight end / fullback type positions. So, and Stover's done it before, played not offset, but he doesn't have to play in line. Yeah, that's a good position to keep an eye on right there.
All right, we'll get back to the line because there's a lot of interesting decisions to make on the offensive line and defensive line for that matter. Who is up here? Wants to talk a little Astros baseball? JP wants to get in here. Hey, JP.
Morning, gentlemen.
How we doing?
I had a suggestion for our new first baseman's nickname, so hopefully we can abandon the J-Lo and Jolo conversation. I was thinking we need to go full Italian like Tommy DeVito and either Tommy Bags or my personal favorite Joey Bags or Joey Loops because he loops the bases. What do you think?
Joey Loops, Joey Bags. Joey Bags is an Italian name. It's okay. No. It's all right.
What about Joey Boomba?
Joey Boombats.
Joey Boombat is pretty good.
Yeah.
Joey Whiff.
No, we don't think negatively.
It would be Whiffo because it's Italian.
There's no Whiffo in baseball.
Joey Whiffo.
More like glass half full nicknames, Del.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not going with Joey strikeout to walk it ratio or something like that. It's too long.
No.
To say Joey, I like the idea of going Joey something, that sounds more mobbed up. I like that better than J-Lo or Jolo. I will admit that. Joey, I don't know Loops though. Loops the bases. That
isn't it more rounds the
Joey
bases?
Lopes?
Rounds the bases.
Lopes isn't
Joey Rounds?
No, Joey rounds the bases. No. Let us spitball this. Let us work on this.
Joey sits.
Well,
Joey plays. Joey needs to play.
Okay.
Joey options?
We're going to play.
He's still got
it's going to be
options?
Jose sits.
Yeah.
Jose se sienta.
Well, you think Espada's giving Joey, I don't know what we're calling him, J-Lo 4 starts a week?
Who was it that
give him a shot.
Bro. Who was it that we were all excited about coming up?
Because you got to get Jose Abreu in there.
I'm just saying he's terrible, but it's disrespectful. Hey, you sit down. This guy.
Do you think Bags wants Abreu to play right now or not play?
Wow.
I don't know. Because he wants him to play well, but if he's not going to play well, do you really want him in there?
To do this. He did have 2 hits the other day.
Yeah, I know. Mexico City.
Yeah. And they were grounders. They were.
Doesn't matter.
Wasn't like he lifted it. They're at 80,000 feet above sea level, and he got 2 ground ball hits.
Great. That's like telling me Thanasis got a couple dunks against the Pacers in a blowout.
Hey,
Who
it's
cares?
still they went through the rim.
Yeah.
That's a positive.
All right. 713-780-3776. Talking about, how about my wife? She texted me this morning. Hey, don't forget, we got until May 15th to protest our taxes.
Oh, crap. I need your guys, by the way.
Yeah, I do too.
No,
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked at it. I'm like, hey, I got to turn this. I need John's guys to work for
we
me.
all need these guys. I'm telling you here and now. It's so
market is stale, and they're sitting there raising our rates like this. Are you kidding me?
I swear to God, I've looked at the text. My wife, she texted me. I'll leave it in the file in the kitchen for you because you have to do this.
There you go.
I will do it, and I will do it with Ownwell. Ownwell is a company that fights for you. Paying property taxes is not protesting your property taxes is dumb. It's dumb because they're charging you more than you have to. They're charging you more than you should be paying. And here's the deal. If you're somebody and it's so easy to sign up. It takes 3 minutes for you to sign up. And if they don't win, you don't pay. Okay. If they win, they lower the appraisal value on your home. You win. That tax money, okay, a percentage of that is all you pay Ownwell. So that's the great thing about it. It's no pay, no win, no pay. Savings or free, guarantee. Hundreds of thousands of happy customers, 5-star reviews. 86% of Ownwell customers save on their taxes. So if you don't do it, that's dumb. Save money on your property taxes with Ownwell. Sign up in less than 3 minutes. Start your protest today at ownwell.com. That's OWNWELL.com.
Hey guys, let's talk about air conditioning. It's the humidity is on top of us. 90-degree weather is going to be here in about a week. We're going to start seeing. I think we have 4 to 5 straight days of 90-degree weather. How's your air conditioning doing? Do you have it? Have you had it checked up on? Have you had it serviced? Have you had it tuned up? They can do that at Vanderford Air. One small cost gets you an entire inspection of the entire unit. And this is not where they're. I know you're thinking, oh, I was looking for things. No, what they're looking to do is they show you exactly. They take you through the entire. Here's something that's loose. Here's something that needed to be, tightened up. Here's something where you're running a little bit low with your Freon. There could be a leak or whatever the case may be. And they went through the whole system. There were 2 different things that I needed to know about mine. My system was 3 years old, but I had really bad algae build up in the emergency drain line, really bad. And I hadn't had it cleaned out for 3 years. And so they did that for me. That's one of the things that they can do. But if you have an issue with your AC and you know it's not running well, man, you got to get it fixed. And they can give you a price to fix it. And if you're interested, they can give you a price for a new unit if you've got an older one. They've got financing available. They will they'll check the heat load in every room to make sure you get the right type of unit, not one that's too small, not one that's too big, one that's just right. So it's efficient. It helps you save money, and it keeps you cool, man. You're paying all this money for air conditioning and this crazy heat that we have. You want to make sure you stay cool, and you want to make sure you're efficient. Vanderford Air, 281-557-COOL. That's 888-557-COOL.
You're back in the Veritex Community Bank Studios with John and Lance.
On ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
Hey, welcome back here on ESPN 97.5, 92.5, 713-780-3776. Pierce to the Cowboys for a fifth. They got Ezekiel Elliott. They don't need Dameon Pierce.
No,
Did
you're not going to get a fifth for him. He's got 2 years left. He's coming off a 0 year. At the most, you'll get a 6. At the most, but more than likely a 7th. You're not getting a fifth for him. Whoever said that. I know we'd want to.
We want a fifth for him. Shut up.
That's right, but that's fine. But he was drafted in the 4th.
A bad person.
Do you think
for
there's a
saying that. We're not
depreciation
getting
of
a
one
fifth
round
for him.
after last year?
Yeah.
You have no leverage.
Well,
The guy was a nothing last year.
says you.
No, says stats.
No. Listen, again with the numbers.
He had Agunbawale playing ahead of him by the end of the year. He was on kickoff return. Fumbling. He fumbled on a kick return in the playoffs.
Stop talking to people about things that happened. You don't tell people things that
remember
happened.
that time he almost ran for 1,000?
Like,
I need to be talking about that.
If the Cowboys can sign Zeke and think it's an added benefit for them, maybe they'll be convinced.
All Cowboy fans now, every time something happens, all in. Because Jerry said they're all in, and then he did nothing in free agency. By the way, they have 4 compensatory picks coming. Like, Dallas has figured out the comp pick game. They got 4 compensatory picks coming. That's probably
great.
why he wasn't signing guys, is he just said, okay, instead of me signing basic guys in the back of the – because they weren't going to go get a big dollar guy. You got to pay Dak. I'm sorry. Your quarterback, y'all need to pay your quarterback. Let's get Dak. Let's get him up to $58 million.
So you out here talking. Why?
Higher.
You keep talking.
Lock Dak in with the Cowboys.
You know, at some point it's going to trickle down, and then you're going to be
to
paying
a good quarterback.
And
my quarterback knows ball. Have you seen these videos?
Oh, I've seen him.
Yeah.
I've seen him. He knows ball.
Does he know how to throw a touchdown against the Ravens?
Yeah, he does when Tank Dell's there.
No,
Tank was there in the first game.
How come Lamar Jackson? He needs help. Please help Lamar. For years, everyone, he needs help. Please help Lamar. He doesn't have anybody. Then our Tank Dell goes out, and everyone's like, "Oh, CJ didn't throw it." Well, everyone named Dell keeps bringing up CJ didn't throw a touchdown. I pray they see. I pray the Ravens see us next year. I pray they see us with our.
They will.
We're gonna punk the Ravens ass.
Don't worry.
We're gonna punk them out next year.
Who's blocking Justin Matabuike?
I said it. It's gonna be ugly too because it's a double revenge game.
Is Juice blocking? Or is Jared Patterson blocking? What's his name? Juice Patterson? Well, is he?
Juice?
Is it Jared
Juice Patterson?
Jared Patterson.
Jared Patterson.
Is he blocking Justin Matabuike?
No, we're gonna have Juicy there. Scruggs is gonna be in the middle.
Juice Scruggs, Jared
Yeah,
Patterson.
and we have Kenyon at left guard. We're fine.
It's either one of the two. Whether I combine
Kenyon
them.
Green was drafted in the first round.
I've heard. You're really high on him. I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm watching Tanks blocking on the Dameon
He can't
Pierce.
let it go.
Delete that.
God.
Just
Can't let it
delete
go.
that.
I can't
You
let
gotta
it go.
let it go.
I can't let it go. That and the video of the shooting. Have you seen that? You've seen that.
The tank shooting?
The tank shooting, yeah.
Well, it was chaotic. I didn't see the shots.
Yeah, they slowed it down, and they saw Tank was standing over. He was actually trying to break something up, and then the guy started shooting. They are saying that, and if that bodyguard or that security guard doesn't stop that kid, it would have been really bad. They're calling him a hero in Florida today.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I shot 10 people. No one died, luckily. But it's
it was like
another
everybody.
16-year-old with a gun who it's just like pull and shoot. Like the group of teenagers that shot up the Kansas City, like they don't have any teenagers in general aren't very smart. They haven't lived life, so life isn't very valuable to them. Man, the most dangerous thing in the world is it seems like nowadays is just young people with guns because it is just pulling, unload if
Lack
you need
of
to.
respect for life.
Yeah, and fights turn into gun. Like you don't just have fights anymore.
Yeah, because
somebody don't want to lose. So if you're getting beat, you pull the strap.
Yeah, the video it appears. I don't know if the
of course also people bum rushing one guy or rat packing
apparently
somebody.
that's somebody was being jumped and then the kid decided that's not happening. So I'm just gonna start firing on people. Yeah.
Let's get Jay in here. He wants to talk about the draft. Hey, Jay.
Hey, good morning, guys. Lance, I have a general draft question. I'm watching the draft the other night, and they drafted an offensive tackle with the first overall tackle draft. I don't remember who it was, but they put a graphic on ESPN for his 40, I get it with skill position players and defensive backs, but why do we care about a 40 of an offensive tackle? He's not running 40 yards during a game at any point during this game.
You don't, Jay. All you care about is a 10-yard split because it can show explosiveness in the hips, which can show how they fire into people. Like you do like a fast 10-yard split because that means, it also can show you how you get off the ball and get into space if you're going to be a pulling guard. But honestly, you like seeing a fast 10-yard split if you can get it, or at least average. The 40, like a slow 40 typically means you're a slow player, so there's a correlation. But in general, you're right. It doesn't really matter as much. Like a 5, okay, somebody ran a 4.9 40 as a tackle. Man, that's really fast. But so, are they strong enough at the point of attack to stop the defensive players are going to have? Can they move people around? Do they get their footwork into position to get block sealed, or their hand placement good? Like, you're right. The 40-yard dash it just shows an element of athleticism potentially with the 10-yard split. You'd much rather see them have good 3-cone drills and short shuttle because that shows actual change of direction and agility. So, yeah, 40 is not – my dad thinks a 40 is the most useless thing you can possibly imagine for an offensive lineman. So you're right on that. It doesn't really matter. It's just a show-off. It must have been somebody – if it was a first tackle taken, would have been Joe Alt, and his 40 was fine. It's just a show-off stat at that point. It doesn't really matter in football.
I joke about the Ravens and not scoring against them, but when we're talking about contenders in the AFC specifically, I think I look at premium players and how many do the Texans have. Now, Casero's been around since 2021. We're through another free agency period in the draft. How many premium players do you think the Texans have on their roster right now?
It's a good question because of way more than they used to. So, premium, let's call them blue stars.
Okay.
You've got
the
quarterback,
the left tackle,
Defense,
2 defensive ends.
Yeah.
Daniil and Will.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Stingley.
Well.
Oh, absolutely.
He's only played like.
He should have been. He should have been first team.
Okay,
He should have been all pro.
He played half a year.
All-pro.
Can you be that if you can't play? He hasn't finished his season in 4 years.
Well, he didn't start last season, but he finished last season.
I take it back. Yeah, he hasn't had a complete season. You're right. He hasn't had a complete season in 4 years. Does that not bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me at all.
Why, though?
Because what I saw from him last year, he's one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. And now stay on the field, and we'll I'm counting him.
Talent, yes. I just want to see him. I just want to see him stay healthy
5.
for 1 year.
Nico, Stephon Diggs.
Okay, you giving Nico?
Absolutely.
Okay. I don't know
7.
I don't know if I call Nico just yet. Him and Stingley, I want him to do it again this year, and I'll give it to him.
I got 7.
That's 1 year.
I got 7 premier players in the league.
Not Christian Harris. No one else on the offensive line. Fairbairn? I mean,
he's one of the better kickers in the
league.
He
is.
Hey, make a kick in the playoffs, okay?
Tommy Townsend?
Make
that's
that
true.
field goal. One. Premium, he makes that field goal. Didn't make it, so he's not premium.
I would probably force, and you didn't put Tank in there. He's got to show it.
And I love
I mean,
Tank.
we all like Tank, but to me, I just want to see, I want to wait 1 more year on Tank, Stingley, and Nico Collins. I think they're all trending that way. I think they all have the talent to be, for sure. I just am trying to be, usually with teams have they'll call it gold star or blue teams, whatever. I mean, they're pretty strict on it. We're talking about Pro Bowl players. Did you mention
Diggs?
Yeah, he mentioned Diggs.
Okay. Oh, you, John, are at 7. Lance, where are you?
I'm more like
5.
More like 5-ish. Yeah, I'll give you one of them. I'll give you either. Yeah, I'll give you one. I'll give you one. No, I'm not giving him either one. I want to see. I need Stingley to stay healthy for a full year, and Nico, I just want to see him do it a second year. But I fully think Nico's going to do it a second year. I mean, some of the numbers with Diggs there may not be the same, but I just care how he plays. And then with Stingley, it's just a case of, look, this has been 4. What is this? Why am I distracted? Who is wearing this crap in the NBA? Who is this?
Jalen Williams.
Why?
Why do NBA
getting
players,
ready to put a lid on the Pelicans?
Why do NBA players do such dumb stuff? Okay, sorry, that was my ADD. No, but for me, I just want Stingley to finish the year. That's all.
He's premier. He's premier.
He's premier talent. Yeah.
There is no question. There is no question. He is.
From their
He's one of the best cornerbacks in the league.
Okay, if he misses,
he performed. He was better. He was better than New York Jets.
Not for the whole year because he wasn't there.
No, but
games.
when he
availability,
he had better statistics in fewer games.
Okay, but you have to play. Like, what if he misses 4 more games this year?
I'm okay if he plays.
Okay
if
with
he
him
plays
missing,
13 games, yes, I'm fine.
No, I don't think the Texans will be. You can't miss this much and expect to get paid max dollars. You can't, or you just end up with like you'll be super pissed off when he's not playing in the big game because he's hurt.
13 is a lot of games for Stingley.
I know, and that's not a lot for most cornerbacks.
Okay
most cornerbacks play the whole year.
If you give me 13 right now, I'll take it.
How many games do you think Trent McDuffie played last year for Kansas City? One of the top 3 cornerbacks in the league. How many did Sauce Gardner play? If your answer is 17, you're correct. These guys play.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to play. He would tell you that. D'Amico wants him to play football.
I'll take 13 right now.
No.
Yes.
No, we're not taking 13. We're taking
It's
7.
not the NBA.
Yeah. What are you, load managing already?
No. Listen, you can't make an all-pro team unless you play 13 games. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing right now.
Against the quarterbacks he's going to see, he better play more than 13 games.
No, I don't need it to be because if he doesn't play, you know what that means? You got C.J. Henderson and Jeff Okudah out there balling. Yeah, so you want him just 13? Are you sure? What are you going to do in the other 4?
All right, I got to get the throw up out of my mouth, so I'm going to talk to Mark Klein from Klein's Jewelry right now. Here's the deal. Mother's Day is coming. She does it for you all year long. She does it for the kids all year long. It's your turn to pay her back. It's coming up May 10th. It's around the corner. What have you done? Mark, what are you going to do for the people?
You know, it's Mother's Day, but it's coming up, and you got to take care of her. Loose diamonds, diamond pendants, diamond earrings. You know, we're doing a big push on lab-grown diamonds now, which is it's amazing product. You know, it's just diamonds built in a lab. They test the same. They look the same. Everything is the same as natural diamonds, just costs a lot less. So anything you want in jewelry, whether it's watch repair, jewelry repair. Hey, John, I just opened another store. Right there in Memorial off of Echo Lane, so it's more easy, accessible off of I-10. So anything you want in jewelry, I can't repeat it enough. Diamond pendants, diamond earrings, diamond bracelets, whatever you want. If you're listening, you're streaming, you're riding in your car, what am I going to get for Mother's Day? You can go to kleinsjewelry.com. It's free delivery. We'll pick it out for you. I'll send you pictures. This is my cell phone, 832-316-1388. You can text me pictures of what you want. We make everything. We're custom jewelers. We do it at the best price in the city of Houston. So anything you want in jewelry, give me a call or give me a text, 832-316-1388. Check out kleinsjewelry.com, and we have 2 locations to take care of you.
Augusta and Woodway, I-10 and Echo. Let's go, 832-316-1388. It's Klein's Jewelry.
You are listening to Houston's longest-running sports radio morning show from the Veritex Community Bank Studios. Here's John and Lance.
Odds-on favorite to be the number one pick in the draft next year?
It's Shedeur Sanders.
And
I don't
maybe
know.
rightfully so.
Yeah, Carson Beck's going to be the first pick.
You think so?
I talked to a team yesterday who's like, if you don't, he said, are you looking at quarterbacks? I'm like, I'm not looking at anything right now. He said, you're not doing your job if you don't know who the Georgia kid is. I said, I know who Carson Beck is. He said, that's the first pick of the draft next year.
No. You insulted him a little bit. You got a little out of order
You're
yourself.
not doing your job if you don't know who Carson Beck. Who is this guy?
I know.
That's
Like,
insulting.
come on now. I know. I said, I know who Carson Beck is.
What is that?
I know.
Was you that? Was he?
I said, first of all, my job
number
is
one pick.
My job is radio.
I didn't see that.
My job is radio. I'm out of my draft. Draft's over. I said my job doesn't start until I get a new contract.
So Shedeur Sanders, Carson Beck is second, Quinn Ewers is third.
Quinn Ewers will not be in the top 5.
James Pierce. This is just who's going to be the first overall.
Who's James Pierce?
James Pierce is a defensive end.
Okay, he won't be.
He's a D. He's a
First of all, you're throwing your money away if you're not betting a quarterback.
He's a rush end.
If it's not a quarterback, your money's gone.
Drew Aller is 5th.
Oh,
he
was
from Penn
awful.
State.
Did you see that Michigan game?
Oh, did you see an Iowa game? Either one of them.
Well, a lot of them. Yeah.
Both of them were terrible.
Jalen Milroe is next, and then Travis Hunter. No chance.
No.
Cam Ward is down the list. Jackson Dart, Cam Ward.
Cam Ward, you got to give consideration to Cam Ward. It's really, I mean, that's fine on Quinn, but Quinn's not going to be it. I think it's Cam and Shedeur with the big arms. Carson Beck is kind of the total package. So those are all 3 names that I would keep an eye on.
Yeah.
There was another player. There's another position player that I was thinking would have a chance, but it's just so hard. I feel like you're throwing money away if it's anything other than, and you know those little bet. By the way, I dug into that because I was asking somebody about, like, you guys have this open, and no, it's like a lot of the stuff they give us, it's $50 circle. You can't really.
Yeah. No.
He's just very small.
Yeah. You can't bet it. You can't bet a lot of money on it. So this thing, I mean, it's really funny with this Michael Penix thing is just. So the oldest quarterback ever drafted in the first round is
Brandon Whedon.
Yep.
He was 28.
28 and a half years old. Second oldest?
It was a 26-year-old.
No, it was this year.
Was this year?
Yeah. First round.
It's Penix then.
It's Nix.
Oh, Bo Nix beats Penix by a couple months.
By just a couple
months. Wait, there's never – I thought there was a 26-year-old or a 25-year-old who was drafted in the
first round, apparently, according to this.
Okay.
It's Nix and then Penix. Then Pickett, Tannehill, Burrow, Wentz, and Jaden Daniels. 3 of the top 8 oldest quarterbacks ever drafted in the first round came this year.
Well, it's because of the COVID year.
COVID year, obviously.
Yeah, the COVID year got the extra. Michael Penix played 6 years of college football.
Yeah.
4 years at Indiana.
But okay, so
and 2 years at
it. If he doesn't play for 3 years, he might not start an NFL game before he's 28 years old.
But that's what everyone's problem is.
No.
But quarterbacks play till they're older. If you can get 10 years out of a quarterback, who cares?
But wasting the first 3 years of a rookie's deal is just it's not
well,
smart.
that's why it just doesn't make a lot of
do
sense.
That?
Pardon me?
"Quote unquote" waste. So they had Aaron Rodgers, but
but he came out when he was. I want to say he was 21.
Well, the age thing is different. But if we're sticking to the deal,
but I think the Packers might have thought, man, or Rodgers only going to be a couple. You know, it's about near the end and whatnot. They just signed Kirk Cousins.
But his deal is really. I mean, they can for 2 years. What you've done now is you've created. You mentioned this on the show Friday, and this is an actual scary point to me, which they're not thinking of. You've really created tension in the future. For right now, all the fans are pissed. Yeah. See all the videos? Fans are pissed. Guess what? In 2 to 3 games, watch how fast the fans turn on Kirk Cousins, and they want the backup in. Watch how fast that happens. It's created they're going to create an atmosphere that they did not intend to. I like the fact that they're basically saying we're going out swinging on the guy that we believe in. Terry Fontenot to do that. That's hard to do. It's hard to have a faith and a trust and a belief that, yes, we got our quarterback, but we think this guy has a chance to be special. You know, Aaron Rodgers, it changed the fact that they decided to go Aaron Rodgers because he fell there and he was just too good a value. That's not who they thought they were going to pick. But the Packers said, this is too good a value. We got to take Aaron Rodgers. It changed the course of history for their entire franchise because they were able to go from Favre to Rodgers seamlessly. So, I mean, that was a phenomenal – I'm sure Terry Fontenot has had that discussion, and now they talk about Jordan Love, you know, being able to transition from Aaron Rodgers to Love. This has been an unbelievably smooth transition, relatively speaking, for the Green Bay Packers dating back to the 90s. That's almost unheard of. And I'm sure Fontenot is thinking, hey, we want to go smoothly from Kirk Cousins to Michael Penix. But, man, Penix is going to be like 27 before he gets a shot if things go well for you. If things work out. If not, you've just wasted a bunch of money on Kirk Cousins.
713-780-3776.
Kirk Cousins, you know he's getting paid guaranteed money. That's all he does.
Let's get Mark in here. Wants to talk a little C.J. Stroud about a real quarterback.
Yeah, a real one.
Hey, good morning, guys. I have a quick question, and I'd like to get y'all's answers objectively. I know we all love CJ and all the great things he did last year, but and this is a question out of curiosity. This isn't a statement, but do you think that a lot of his success was due to Bobby Slowick? And the reason I ask that is he did some great things, fourth quarter comebacks, driving down the field. You can't really teach that, but a lot of his throws to Nico and Tank, a lot of those were wide open guys downfield, a lot of play action plays to where, I mean, you could have put a lot of people in that quarterback position to make those throws as long as they can push it down the field. And I'm just curious do you think Bobby Slowick doesn't get enough credit for CJ's success, or do you think it's just all CJ, doesn't matter who the OC is, you're all good to go with CJ? I'm just curious how that's going to look when Slowick leaves, how CJ is going to be able to – I mean, when guys are wide open, it's very easy to hit, Nico against the Steelers in the fourth quarter. When he's burning past Patrick Peterson, it's pretty easy to hit that. So curious what y'all's response
But you got to read it to get to that spot. It's both. I mean, Bobby Slowick deserves a ton of credit, but Slowick deserves a ton of credit because he goes back to the Shanahan system. And the Shanahan system, designed by Mike Shanahan and refined by Kyle Shanahan, and really, frankly, others that have used it, they just created a really great methodology of play calling, and some of it, I would just say Slowick's play calling also was really good. He kept people guessing.
I didn't see all those guys running wide open when they were playing the Ravens. I didn't see that. And some of the losses, it wasn't like it was all year. They struggled offensively.
There were times. Yeah, we forget.
And was that on CJ, or was that they,
I think CJ. I think
they both get credit.
I think they both get credit. They both deserve credit. CJ Stroud played in an offense that is a quarterback-friendly offense. It always has been. You take a quarterback-friendly offense, but Jimmy Garoppolo was just average in a quarterback-friendly offense. You have to have ability to elevate it. Now, C.J. Stroud had rookie games against Carolina, against Atlanta. Those were rookie games. He looked like a rookie. He didn't play as well. So I think that there is something to the fact that but C.J. Stroud coming back, like, what does that have to do with Bobby Slowick? Some of the throws he made on those fourth quarter comebacks were unbelievable. So that's not Bobby Slowick. That's C.J. Stroud making special plays because he knew where he wanted to go with the ball. He has amazing touch and talent. It's definitely a group. It's a combination of two things. Slowick being a good play caller, having a good design, passing design, and C.J. Stroud being able to elevate that and execute it. And when Slowick is gone, there could be a little bit of a dip for C.J. Stroud. But my guess is even if there is, he'll just get right back on track. I think he's got a chance to be really special. And it's not because of it's because of some of the stuff I see on the field, but all the stuff I see off the field, dude, those are intangibles. This is what we're talking about. Loves football, thinks football, has, these are the intangibles. Jay Cutler has a big arm. Who cares? Big arm, big schmarm. I want somebody who knows where to go with the football and doesn't take wild chances and thinks intelligently pre and post snap. That's how games are won. Joe Burrow beats you because he outthinks you pre and post. Josh Allen is a phenomenal talent, but Josh Allen doesn't think the game like Joe Burrow does. They're different types of quarterbacks. Pat Mahomes has that ability to he processes pretty well, but he just makes outstanding executable plays. I think C.J. Stroud's got a chance to outthink defensive coordinators. And when you do that, it doesn't matter who your coordinator is.
Well, there is going to be another coordinator coming in here after Bobby Slowick, and he may be good too. And secondly, CJ is going to have more experience in the league. You lose coordinators every year, it's a real problem for a quarterback, especially a young quarterback. But you're right. CJ's outthinking people. CJ is going to be ready when Bobby Slowick leaves, I feel like. I feel like CJ is going to, like you said, be able to outthink coordinators, and he's going to be just fine. But Bobby Slowick deserved a lot of credit for last year. There's no question about that. Listen, the Insperity is this week. Lance and I are going to be out there at the Insperity on Friday. He's really excited. Dell is not going to be out there. He wants to go.
He's trying
he wants to go. He's been saying, the two of them in the last break were in here going, hey, Dell was going, how come I'm not out there? Lance is going, because we're special, you're not. And they can't wait. Both of them can't wait to get out to the Insperity. Right after those guys are going to be playing all week long. It's this week. The Houston Insperity Invitational presented by United Healthcare, held at the Woodlands Country Club tournament course. Beautiful course. If you haven't seen it before, if you haven't been there before, 78 of the best PGA Tour champions players of all time. Insperity Invitational is proud to continue the tradition of offering free general grounds admission. Now, there's really good players out here. These are the seniors, obviously. The Champions Tour used to be the Seniors Tour. Now it's the Champions Tour. And they're really, really good. They're really great golfers. If you're a golf fan, this is a place to be. We've had such great golf here, and it continues here with the Insperity this week. Go to InsperityInvitational.com, get your tournament schedule, your ticket info, your player field, events, tee times, parking, all of it. Everything that you want to know, it's at InsperityInvitational.com. Get on out there, absolutely free.
You're listening to Houston's longest-running sports radio morning show. From the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's John and Lance.
All right, welcome back here on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. NBA last night, Lakers eliminated the first time since 2005. First time since 2005, no Steph, no LeBron, no KD in the second round.
Wow. Well, it's changed. Things are changing. I asked my son, who really keeps up with basketball hardcore. I said, who's your top 10 right now? Because he usually asks me that. And Mason had it. Luka, I wanted to see if he would have anything stupid, but it was pretty legitimate. He had Luka 1. Jokic 1. I think he had Luka 2. Now, he had Jason Tatum 8, which I felt a little bit low.
He's always disrespected.
And I wanted to see where he had Anthony. He had Anthony Adams. He had Shea 3. No. Yeah, I think he had Shea 3.
Well, Jason's got to be 4.
He had Curry 6. He had 10. He had 10. He had Anthony Adams. Anthony Edwards. I wanted to see where he had Anthony Edwards. He had LeBron 9, Anthony Edwards 10. Who did you say? Oh, Jason Tatum. He had 8. Yeah. Man, who am I missing in here?
I mean,
Luka, Shea, Steph. Oh, he had KD in there somewhere too. 7 probably.
Okay.
I think he had him 7. Ahead of Jason Tatum. I would put KD behind Jason Tatum. Is that am I wrong?
No, KD's behind. Yeah.
I
think Jason Tatum.
Oh, he had Giannis. He had Giannis in there.
So
5.
disrespected. So disrespected. How about, Jamal Murray with another game winner. Dude performs in the playoffs. No all NBA teams. Jamal Murray, never. No all NBA teams.
Yeah, but man, they're the all good at basketball team.
I know.
I was thinking about it. Does it remind you of one of the Rocket championship teams? Because you have a dominant big, and then you have just good players around who make clutch plays. Like Porter, watching Caldwell Pope, watching Jamal Murray, just the entire team. You just think, man, there's guys who know their roles, who fit their roles well, and you got a dominant big in the middle. And I kept thinking, and you just watch them play, and you just think at any point, the Denver Celtics series has to happen this year.
Yeah.
It has to happen. And, man, it's just – I give the Lakers credit. They didn't crumble yesterday. They showed up.
He plays a huge – Aaron Gordon,
yeah. Aaron Gordon is a monster for them.
Yep.
Look how many good players they have.
So last night, the Chuck versus Galveston saga continued. There was a picture – Scott Elliott, at Scott Elliott 77. If you guys know Scott Elliott, Joseph Scott Elliott, tell him to call the show. He sent in a picture of he and Charles in a bike shop, Island Bicycle. And he said, this is Barkley enjoying the bike shop in Galveston. I guess it wasn't so bad. And they showed this on TNT last night. And here is Chuck's response to it.
Hey, first of all, I had a great time in the local hangouts when we played there, when we were down there for training camp. You just can't go to the beach. I want to say that everybody was great to me in Galveston, but your beach was dirty as hell.
Did you rent a bike? Did you actually rent a bike and go?
No, I walked around. Hey, I remember that spot was awesome. I went to that spot pretty much every night actually, but the beach was still dirty as hell. That ain't my fault.
Yeah, that's where.
Look at them.
That's where the Rockets.
Joseph, I remember y'all taking great care of me down in Galveston. I just couldn't go on the beach. I didn't have no steel toe boots.
Gotta have those for a beach.
Gotta have steel toe boots if you're going on that beach in Galveston.
Why you need steel toe?
Oh, because you don't want to mess up my pedicure.
Too many rocks and oil.
Oh my God! You stepping old sand, dirty sand, oil. Come on, you know I get a mani-pedi every week. I can't mess up these pretty feet.
Lance likes pretty feet.
Yeah.
You like Charles' feet?
Gross.
Well, wait. Do you like Charles'
What's
feet?
ironic is that the guy with the jankiest feet in the history of basketball, Shaq, is on the set too. Remember that when he took his?
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh my God, what happened?" It was like claws. It was like like an animal claw.
It's
was on his
just
foot.
ironic. It's just irony right there.
Yeah, that is irony.
That he's on the set. Let's get Gary in here. Wants to talk to Justin Verlander. Hey, Gary.
Hey, guys. There's a lot of talk about how great JV's been in his time in Houston, but how much of that is due to Stretch Zuba? I mean, you look at the strikes that JV throws. That plate's wide open, 17 inches. Seems like strikes that any MLB pitcher could throw.
Look, Gary. I know what you're doing with the Bobby Slowick, C.J. Stroud thing, where you're saying it's all when the guy wanted to know how much is Slowick, and now you're saying, and now Gary's asking how much of this is due to Stretch Suba. I don't believe. Was Stretch Suba still with the team? And how long has Stretch been gone?
Is Stretch? No, he's not around anymore. Stretch.
Well,
Suba
wait. Was he there in 2017? though?
He's kind of a system pitcher.
He's what?
He's kind of a system pitcher.
He's not a second pitcher. No, he
No,
left.
a system pitcher.
No,
Hold on. When did he leave?
He was just a bullpen catcher.
Wait,
Well,
Astros don't.
how
Jeff
much credit do we need to
bullpen
give him?
coach.
He was
wasn't
gone
even-
with Jeff. He was gone when Jeff Leno was here, so he's been.
Oh, Stretch Suba is not.
Well,
Maybe the law firm of.
Wait a minute. He was
Murphy and-
gone in 2012. He has nothing to do with it.
the
They got
questions
rid
still
of.
have to be asked.
Verlander was barely in the league.
One of the first things that Jeff Leno did was get rid of Stretch Suba. Actually, now that I'm reading here, Stretch Suba fired by the Astros. Bullpen coach Stretch Suba will not be back after 36 years. Basically, Jeff Leno went in and goes, okay, we got to get this guy.
Well, Brock Purdy's done it for a year and a half, and he's still hearing it. Why is CJ exempt? System quarterback. Looks that San Francisco offense very, very kind to
I
quarterbacks.
got news for you. Brock Purdy's going to hear that for his entire life, probably. Is it fair? No. Is it accurate? No.
Why?
I mean, it's good. It's a good system.
Mm-hmm. Every quarterback
Still got to make throws, though.
Every quarterback in that system should catch it. Brock, Tua, CJ. They all have to catch it.
Have you noticed that no one says anything about, like, okay, if the system automatically, why did Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance not work out there?
Well, Jimmy made a Super Bowl, Lance.
If
I don't know
every
you've heard.
quarterback is supposed to succeed with all the talent.
Super Bowl. Who made a Super Bowl in the system?
No.
Yeah.
That's how good the system is, though. That's partly how good it is.
Well-
Now, there's also, we're also talking about some tremendous talent.
Yeah.
On offense and defense. So San Francisco's, man, John Lynch has been a good general manager,
Yeah.
hasn't he? He's been a really good
Really
general
good.
manager.
Really good. And Shanahan's a really, really good coach.
Mhm.
And they also get a lot of really good players. That's a great organization. He just can't win that game. But you know what? It'd be silly. If they do a situation like they did with in San Diego when they fired him, he won 13 games all the time.
Marty Schottenheimer.
Marty Schottenheimer. If they do that to Shanahan, it'll be the dumbest move ever. Shanahan is. I think he's on Andy Reid pace.
You can't just make, and that happened to Andy Reid, too. You talk about, I mean, Schottenheimer, you can just look at Andy Reid. Andy Reid's done nothing but be a winner his whole time, but Philadelphia got tired of, sometimes you just have to deal with it. Like, you just can't make, if you know you got the best guy, you just have to keep trying. Why hit reset when you've got somebody who's really good?
Yeah.
Like, Philadelphia did it, and that's fine. But now he's gone to Kansas City and been great the entire time. When is the downtime for Andy Reid? He was great the entire time in Philly. I mean, he had some losses, and I get it. He didn't win at the highest level. He lost that. And once that happens, you're a loser. People want to get rid of you. But Daryl Morey recognized, man, James Harden, we're getting deep with James Harden. We just got to get over the hump. Sometimes you can't. With coaches, you're right. If they got rid of Kyle Shanahan, oh, my God. He'd be the biggest bidding war you've ever seen to grab him.
I'm going to say this. Andy Reid's a better coach than Bill Belichick. Belichick won with one quarterback. Didn't do anything in Cleveland without Brady. Didn't do anything in New England without Brady. Matter of fact, it got bad. 1 year with Matt Castle, he won some games. But Andy Reid has won consistently and now championships.
Helped make, listen, Andy Reid, now, Andy's an offensive guy. Bill's a defensive guy. I can point out some defensive players who, Teddy Bruschi was built on, that was a defensive tackle in college, and Bill had the foresight to move him to linebacker. So Willie McGinnis will hit you in the head with a champagne bottle if you say something bad about Belichick. So be careful. With that said, the offensive guru,
all those guys.
Yeah, I mean, he's been phenomenal. But when you look at Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb, he traded here you go. You can have the Ricky Williams. Go ahead. I want Donovan McNabb. Donovan McNabb was successful in Philadelphia for the most part. He was a good quarterback there. He was a Pro Bowler. Alex Smith completely resets Alex Smith's career.
Yep.
Success with Alex Smith to an extent. Recognizes Pat Mahomes, jumps up in the draft to the number 10 spot, grabs Pat Mahomes. The rest is history. He's won titles. He got to multiple NFC championships. He's won multiple AFC championships. He's won 2 Super Bowls. I mean, he's been a quarterback whisperer. I think he got a legitimate case for Andy Reid over Belichick. I know Belichick's just been the de facto, and I'm not talking about Belichick just because he won with Tom Brady. To me, Belichick built the foundation of all that stuff. But Andy Reid, dude, Andy Reid gets dubs. Now, Belichick also didn't. He won all the time.
Yeah.
He did not have losing seasons. Almost
until the
never.
End. Until
the very end. So when you have 20
but
straight
when
winning
Brady was
seasons,
gone, it turned sour, bro.
Well, a lot of that's because of the GM. The GM, Bill Belichick, was not good at it.
He was terrible. All right, we got a break at 713-780-3776. If you want to get in here, I got to talk about HRP. I got to talk about my people over there. Love what they do for us. You will love what they will do for you. And listen, it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything to find out. Find out right now where they could save you money. If you're a business that has grown, now all of a sudden you've got 25, you've got 30, 35, 40 employees, and you're doing your own payroll. I mean, are you sure this is the way that you want to go about it? Are you a payroll expert? Do you have payroll expert? Is your payroll department growing? Is your HR department growing? Are you be able to handle all of the things that's happening now that you used to be able to handle? Or you got to hire more people now? Are you doing it as economically? Are you doing it technologically as advanced as HRP is? No, because that's not your business. You don't know payroll. You don't know HR. That's not
you don't know payroll.
You don't know. You don't know. So you know who knows? HRP. HRP knows payroll. HRP doesn't matter how you pay people. Doesn't matter if you have branches in other states. It doesn't matter. They can do it all. They will do it all. Experts in that and the Affordable Care Act, which is another thing that's very difficult that you don't understand. Here's the deal. You don't understand it. They do. HRP.net. 281-880-6525 or HRP.net.
So if you are suffering from chronic pain all the time in the joints, good chance it's arthritis, and that happens, but you don't have to suffer through it. Most people do. They try to Google this and that, and then eventually they get to especially in your hips, your knees, your shoulders, you start taking the shots, the steroid shots. It works for about 3 months. You can only have 3 of them in a given year. It starts to be degenerative. I talked to Joe Thomas about that one time. And so you can only have about 3 in a year, and then over time they stop working as well. You start looking at surgery options. Then you start trying to manage pain. I mean, why are you doing all that? QC Kinetics, I've been telling you guys about this. It's regenerative medicine. It's the biggest thing going today. It restores lost tissue and repairs damaged tissue. It reduces inflammation by taking the body's healing power. They take it out, they concentrate it, they put it back into the joint, and then boom, it starts to work very, very quickly. The pain can start subsiding in as little as a week. I had somebody tell me that with the issue they had with their shoulder issue that they were dealing with. And would you like to be pain-free? Would you like to reduce your chronic pain and get back to the mobility and the enjoyment of your life? I mean, that's available for you, and there's 4 places here in Houston to help you. It's QC Kinetics, 4 locations in Houston. Go to the website, set up your free consultation, get rid of that pain. QCkinetics.com.
You are listening to Houston's longest-running sports radio morning show. From the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's John and Lance.
All right, 837 ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. One draft expert says the Steelers drafted the offensive and defensive rookies of the year.
He's going with the offensive tackle?
No, Roman Wilson.
Oh, okay.
If they can get him the ball. Roman Wilson's pretty good.
Roman Wilson is pretty good, but is this where we're doing the Justin Fields' MVP stuff again, or Russell Wilson's gonna be the new Russell Wilson? Where I know it didn't look good in Seattle.
Is he this year's Baker?
No, I want to believe it because I think Russell's been a great quarterback. But man, at the end in Seattle, it wasn't good. It wasn't good in Denver, and frankly, I don't think it's a good setup in Pittsburgh.
Baker got them to the playoffs barely
In Tampa. Yep.
Pittsburgh always wins.
Yeah, but that was a rejuvenation. Like Baker got a big contract off of that. I think we're seeing the end of Russell Wilson's career.
Pittsburgh always gets to the playoffs. Russell is going to be celebrated if he gets to the playoffs, which he will with Pittsburgh. They always win.
I think the fans are going to cheer for Justin Fields in his first 3 and out. They're going to be cheering for Justin Fields. I think he's got his hand full in camp because fans don't want to see him. Fans want to see Justin Fields. At least a lot of fans are. The media are going to want to be. Justin Fields has been a media darling forever, and that's going to put a lot. And Russell's one of those guys that people just don't like him for whatever reason. Russell's considered corny or whatever, and they don't like him. And Justin's considered a real one, so Justin gets the fans. So he's going to have his hands full in camp, I think.
What did you think of Peyton Wilson, the linebacker?
I mean, bad knees. I was told he
had 2 knee injuries.
You got to get through. I was told you got to get, like, the medicals on him. He could have gone in the first round. He's better than Jack Campbell, who went in the first to Detroit. But the reason he went in the third is because the thought is he might get through just one contract, and that's it.
Because of his knees?
Yeah, because it's degenerative. And that guy ran a 4.4. He jumped over 40 inches. He has over 100 tackles 2 years in a row. Like, there's a lot. He has all the profile of being a first-round pick, and he went in the third because the medicals were that bad.
Yeah, that bad.
But he could be Defensive Rookie of the Year. You know why? Because Defensive Rookie of the Year players typically come from a lot of times come from the linebacker position. You just reminded me. That's my next set. My editor is going to give me that next up. I'm going to have to do Offensive and Defensive Rookies of the Year article. I already know it's coming.
Peyton Wilson and Roman Wilson, done.
Yeah, it's already done for me.
Richard
Wilson's first time ever that
2 Wilsons from the same team.
I guarantee that's never happened.
Never happened. 2 Wilsons from the same team winning Rookie of the Year? Never. We only got one, Garrett Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
If we got one Rookie of the Year, Garrett Wilson.
Russell
There's no
Wilson.
way another Wilson won that year.
And then
C.J. Stroud, Will Stroud?
Russell Wilson MVP? Wow.
And what? Oh, and
Russell Wilson MVP, Peyton Wilson Defensive Rookie of the Year, Roman Wilson, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
If this happens, I'm going to give Dell $70.
Yeah.
Why, are you betting on it?
And if it doesn't, no. But if it doesn't happen, you give me $7.
Why would I give you any money?
I'm giving you 10-1.
I'm not betting on this. Why would I give you
the
money?
bet's already in.
You're the one that said it.
Yeah,
no, I said Russell.
You're the one that said.
I didn't say the triumvirate would win. I said Russell Wilson would.
Well,
win.
you're on it for $7, but you get 10-1. That's a good deal for you.
You're not my bookie.
Well, it's too late. Action's in.
No, you're not. That's not how it works
It's
for me.
already in. It's already in. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
Let's get Richard
there's
in.
Plenty
here.
I can do.
What say, Richard?
Nothing much, guys. I think Minnesota has more of a chance to be the rookie offensive and defensive rookie of the year pick, just as a joke for them being Texas North kind of picking.
Mm-hmm.
But my question was, do you think British Brooks, I doubt you really have much familiarity with him, but the guy who was with North Carolina for 6 years, 5'11", like 230, little running back that we got, I was wondering if you think he's going to have a chance to join the roster. I know they signed him, but he's just undrafted, so I was just wondering if you thought he might be okay, Lance.
Probably not, honestly.
Well, because they just signed a good one. They got picked up Jawar Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, if they took him as an undrafted free agent, they like him. He's got, but yeah, I don't really see it because Ogunbowale. Well, I got to check and see if he's a special teams player. If you're going to be a fourth running back, you better be really good on teams.
Yeah.
I don't get returner, somebody who will run down there and tackle on kickoff returns and punt returns. You can't be the last running back and not play special teams. Ogunbowale and Damian Pierce both play special teams, so British would have to do that. But I never say never with those kind of backs because I swear those are those kind of guys that come out of nowhere in this offense.
That's true. I really appreciate it, and I was just wondering. I think he's just going to be a little meatball. I think he's pretty awesome.
I love that his name is British Brooks.
Yeah, a meatball.
Well, all right, yeah, and then Minnesota, I think, over Pittsburgh for be the rookie offensive and defensive of the year. So sorry.
Well, you know what? You actually
like JJ?
JJ McCarthy and Dallas Turner.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. If we're going to do a 1-2 combo, that would be the combo I would look at because quarterback and pass rusher was last year.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks for the call. I mean, last year's quarterback pass rusher.
And listen,
Kevin
J.J.
O'Connell's
McCarthy
offense
might be real good there.
Mm-hmm.
He has some weapons. This just in.
He's got Justin.
He got
right
Justin.
off the bat.
Yeah. Right.
The rest of his Jordan Addison. That's not bad.
No. Time for me to talk about.
And he's got at running back Aaron Jones this year. Man, they might be kind of sneaky. Tight end T.J. Hawkinson. That's not the worst situation I've ever seen. Christian Darrisaw is one of the most underrated left tackles in football. They're not great up the middle with Brandell, Bradbury, and Ed Ingram, but yeah, he stepped into a good spot. Much better than going to New England or the Giants.
Time for me to talk about Air Team. Okay, this is a new client to the show. I am getting. I mean, as a matter of fact, I'm in the middle. I've got to replace air conditioning at my house, and they are so good, so thorough, so the explanations tremendous. I mean, I could fix my older air conditioners, but I'm just not. I'm gonna get a new one, and I just want it to be. And they're gonna come and they're gonna measure everything in my home to make sure that it's the right capacity for the rooms that it's going to be in. I can't be happier with the way that they go about it at Air Team. They're so thorough, so good. They've got employees that have been there 30. They're great. It's third generation of ownership here. Darren and Dawn are the owners. Garrett, their son, is there as well. It's been family owned and operated over 35 years. They speak English, Spanish, Russian, Farsi. If you speak Farsi only, they can still help you out. They've got the warehouse full of equipment and parts. They've got the rebates. They've got everything that you need if you have any air conditioning problem. This is the time to get it checked out, because if it breaks down in the summer, man, they're blowing and going. It's so busy. This is the time to take a look. You need to maintain your air conditioners as well. I talk about your roof, how you got to maintain that. Talk about how you got your plumbing, how you got to maintain that. You got to maintain your air conditioners as well. AirTeamLTD.com or call them 713-936-5050. 5346.
Hey, Zadok Jewelers is here for Mother's Day. If you want to find mom a great set of diamond earrings or the latest their stuff that you ask the jewelers, and they'll tell you. The people who work there will tell you what would be great for Mother's Day. They've got different necklaces that can, that represent the bond with child and mother. That's the thing I love about it. They have a lot of really cool former NFL. One of the people who works there is a former NFL head coach's sister, as a matter of fact. I'm not going to tell you who the head coach is, but it was awesome talking to her. What an amazing background she has, a fun story to tell. But now she's great at what she does, which is working at Zadok Jewelers and helping you find something great for mom. So if you're looking for a Mother's Day gift, I want to focus on that right now. Make sure that you go to Zadok Jewelers. Tell her that she's special to you by finding something special at Zadok. The people working there will help you find the very best brands, the very biggest name brands, or just you can look for something that really represents the way that you feel about your mother. Maybe you have siblings and you all want to get a gift together. They can work with you in that regard as well. But I promise you it will be at Zadok Jewelers. 28,000 square feet of store with 2 different levels. And, of course, I've already told you about luxury timepieces and all the great bridal rings that they have available in the second floor. Check them out for yourself. Zadok Jewelers on Post Oak for over 45 years. ZADOK.com or go to 1801 Post Oak Boulevard.
You are listening to Houston's longest-running sports radio morning show from the Veritex Community Bank Studios. Here's John and Lance.
We've got a featured restaurant to highlight this week. It's Highway Cantina in Edo, a great Tex-Mex destination before and after ball games and certainly for Cinco de Mayo. Thanks to Highway Cantina, our featured restaurant this week, and they're stopping by today. It'll benefit some of us, won't benefit all of us, because some people don't grind.
Some people are staying and grinding. We're going to get some of that delicious food. I'm pretty excited. pretty excited. Free food will just really
brighten your day, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just gets people talking.
Yeah.
They're on their way?
Well, not for you.
They're not on their way.
They're waiting for you to leave.
They're getting here between 11:15 and 11:30. So
They're going.
You know,
they're worried about their
lunch.
business first and you second. Okay, the way it should be.
They're worried about the
lunch,
the Mopey and Mape show, making sure they eat.
And Paul Gallant, he'll be around at that time, so he'll get to eat.
Probably
And
not.
Joe George
Probably going to
will
walk
eat
in
as
right
well.
before his show, and it'll be gone because all the salespeople will eat it.
Wow, that's a deep cut.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Inside baseball,
as they say. Speaking of baseball, who's on the mound today?
Who's on the mound against the Guardians?
Yeah.
It is going to be today. It's Hunter Brown, awesome. Yeah. Hunter Brown, and then Justin Verlander.
That's curious.
And then Spencer Arrighetti.
Can Hunter keep the win streak going? He has had some moments where he's pitched.
This isn't our best lineup.
No.
Although Javier is scheduled to return soon. So
see, it's all coming
that
together.
That might all change up.
Mexico City was our tombstone series. Get right series in Mexico City. That's what we're calling it.
Yeah, that was Get Right.
Hunter Brown, this is the biggest start that he's had. It's his biggest start of the season because if you crap the bed, that could be you that leaves the rotation, and frankly, is going to be you leaving the rotation. But when Christian Javier gets back, when Framber gets back,
Framber's back.
Oh yeah, that's right. Framber Framber got back when I was gone.
Yeah.
What happened to
he
Framber?
Was this
he pitched on Sunday.
He pitched 5 innings.
I had a thing. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
he had a good game.
He had a good game.
Yeah, he had a good game. He won one of the win streak games, didn't he?
Yes. In Mexico.
He won one.
I consider this the win streak games. I mark this time of the year as a win streak.
Yeah, he had 6 strikeouts, no walks, 5 innings pitched. He only threw 71 pitches.
Yeah, I wish I wasn't doing draft stuff. I would have watched some Framber.
71 pitches, 6 strikeouts, no walks.
It's coming together.
For who? Framber or the team?
The team.
Okay.
Listen, and the game he pitched before
that. And JV pitched well?
The game
Framber
he pitched
well?
before that, 85 pitches over 7 2/3, 5 strikeouts, no walks. I mean,
all Framber does is throw
we
strikes.
had the numbers yesterday when the guys we expected to be in the rotation outside of JP France, when those guys are pitching, and Rosnell Blanco certainly helped, they're locked down.
Yeah.
Under 2
but
the
this
ERA.
is the problem, though. You can't. That's why you can't give games away because even when your guys, you don't want to be in a battle getting a 500. That's not what you want to do. So you don't want to get too far behind, and that's why winning those 2 games. We joke about it being a sweep, but, I mean, it's essential. You really can't lose any more games. We're very fortunate that you don't have 2 teams running away from the rest of the division. But that's just not this division. So the Astros are still, very much in it in the division, but I think the bullpen, the homeostasis is going to kick in. And they'll be fine. I think the bullpen's going to be. It can't be this bad all year.
Seattle had a big walk-off last night. They're 16-13, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They're 6.5 up on the Astros.
I'm not as
You're
worried
still
about
within
that.
shouting distance. It's okay. The sky
I'd
isn't
prefer
falling
they
yet.
lose, but yeah.
Yeah, the sky isn't fallen yet, but it is. It's crap. So far, it's crappy, and hopefully it'll get better here now because you're playing the Guardians. You can't wait to play the Guardians. The Rangers aren't. You know what? They're 1 game over 500. Seattle needed that win last night to put them 3 games over 500. The rest of the division sucks. The Astros. This will get better. It'll definitely get better. And especially now, Framber's back. Javier's going to come back. JP France is already out. You're taking probably Singleton out of this lineup. Hopefully you're taking Abreu out of this lineup. You got Dubon hopefully on most of the games in center field. You will see if Chaz can start putting some consistent at bats together. Bregman can turn things around. He always does after April. So it's going to be okay. We're going to be all right. We're fine. I'm
still on track to be
I'm trying to convince myself.
To be the best team in Astros history?
You what?
Still on track to be the best team in Astros history?
Yeah, and best team in Astros history.
Well, I don't know about on
Watch the
track.
run. Watch the run that they go on now, Dell.
On track, though?
Yeah. It was the Mexico City Tombstone.
Are they going to get to play all their games in Mexico against the Rockies?
They don't get to play the Rockies every game per se, but it looks everybody's going to look like it, like they're the Rockies when the Astros take them on.
When Hunter Brown and Arrighetti are on the mound, you feel like that? Everyone's going to look like the Rockies?
Yeah, I'm not thrilled about that. Those two out of the three.
I
starters.
mean, if we're trying to get a hot streak going, I wish it wasn't those two pitching
I
in the
just have a
series.
funny feeling Arrighetti's going to be okay. I mean, I like the fact that he's striking people out. I like the fact that there's some swing and miss. Did anything happen while I was gone where he had a terrible start? I don't. That whole 7 days is a blur for me. I know Astros baseball. I know we were busy getting our asses kicked in Chicago. And then, of course, the great Mexico City trip. But Arrighetti, to me, I feel better about him than Hunter Brown, if you really want to know the truth.
You feel better? Well, last outing.
He has some swing and miss stuff. Hunter Brown is just, his head just explodes. As soon as he goes through a bit of adversity, he just falls apart.
His last outing, Arrighetti, wasn't horrible.
No, he wasn't.
No.
3 2/3.
Well.
7 hits, 4 earned runs.
Okay, I checked.
7.
Okay, bait and switch me.
He hasn't pitched more than 4.0.
Oh, there he's on
3, 4, and 3
he's
and
on a
2/3.
pitch count. He's just coming up to the
He's
bigs.
a long reliever, but he starts the game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's what do they call it? He's the opener.
He's the opener.
He's the opener.
Well, let him only pitch an inning then if he's the opener. Either he's a long reliever or the opener. Which one is he?
No, we need long relief. We got him.
Then let somebody else pitch the first inning, and have him come in.
And then he comes in for long relief.
Yeah, to get you to 5 innings, and then you go to the rest of your sterling bullpen.
Dell, it's not like he gets through those innings unscathed.
Well, maybe you get through the first inning unscathed without him starting.
His ERA is down to 10.97.
That's comforting. So, if you feel like the Astros are making the playoffs or winning the division, which one do you think is happening? Do you think they're getting in as a wild card or winning the division?
Winning the division.
Okay, so I pulled up the teams with the slowest starts to win the division, and this is an article from last year. The Rangers in 2015 went 9-16. They finished 88-74. The Twins in 2006 started 9-16. They finished 96-66.
Thank you.
Of course, the Astros have started worse than those two teams, but sure, great record for the Twins. The Padres 2006 started 10-15, 88-74, and the Yankees 2005 started 10-15, finished 95-67.
See? Exactly my point.
I mean,
It's not over yet.
It's not over. I will point out that the Astros through 25 games were worse.
Yeah.
But still, not over.
No, it's not over. It's
far from over.
I think if Mexico City taught us anything, we can kick the
Rockies' ass.
That's right.
Okay.
That's what
Mexico City taught us anything.
If we learned anything from Mexico
The
City.
lessons learned from Mexico City.
We're better than the Rockies.
Oh, for sure.
They haven't run out of water there either, did they? I'm not sure if they've
Not yet.
Mexico City apparently running out of water. But oh well. We're out of there. We got our water. I think we brought our own bottled water.
Oh well.
The empathy just oozing off of John.
Time for me to talk about.
No. I think they're running out of water. They've got like 8 billion people there, but we're out of there.
We're out of there. We're
We're
done.
fine.
We brought our own water. Hopefully, we left some there. Here's the deal. It's property tax time. My wife texted me this morning, and she said, don't forget, you need to fight the property taxes before May 15th. Little does she know, I'm not doing it. I should have just said, I'm not doing it. That's what I should have said.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Ownwell is going to do it. That's right. Do not let this go without fighting, without protesting. You've got until May 15th. You got to move on this thing. Go to ownwell.com and see what they're going to do for you. Takes minutes, no stress, no investment, because if they don't win, you don't pay. When they win, it's just a percentage off of what the taxes that you would have paid, right? So It's well worth this thing, man. You got to save on these property taxes because if you let the government get away with it every single time, it's going to just increase your property taxes, increase, and you're going to find, wait a minute, when I want to sell my house, the government is way off on this thing, way off. My house isn't worth what they say it is. The government always does that. Let Own Well keep it where it's supposed to be. All right, no upfront costs. Savings are free, guarantee. If you don't save, you don't pay. Save money on your property taxes with Own Well. Sign up in less than 3 minutes. Start your protest today at ownwell.com. That's OWNWELL.com.
You're back in the Veritex Community Bank Studios with John and Lance.
On ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
On ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. 713-780-3776 is the number if you want to get in here. We started the show looking at, well, one of our segments was, early segments, was looking at the Texans. We looked at the offense. Now let's take a look at the Texans defense. And, you know, after getting all of these guys, where do the cuts come from? It'll be interesting to see. Well, look at this. Wait, okay, defensive linemen. How many defensive linemen do you keep?
I'm going to answer that by going to the archives and I will go at the start of the season. So let's just say it. Let's do 10-1. So at 10-1 of last year, they kept 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. Here's 12 to choose from. Here's 12.
Okay.
Will Anderson Jr. Lock.
You know what? He's making it.
Danico Autry.
Yep.
Dylan Horton. 4. Tim Settle. 5. Khalil Davis.
I don't know that Dylan Horton's a lock. I would think so. He was drafted last year, but, he went through – it was cancer too, right? Stage 4 cancer. So I'm not sure they really haven't talked a lot about it. I think they want to respect his privacy and his medical stuff. But I would just keep that up in the air a little bit right there, Dylan Horton.
Khalil Davis.
He played well last year.
Marcus Harris.
I think he's making the –
That's 8 right now.
Wow.
Well, no. Hold on.
No,
Will Anderson, Danico Autry.
Oh, no,
Dylan
it's even harder than that.
Tim Settle, Khalil Davis, Marcus Harris is 6. Folo Fatukasi.
Okay, so they're going to have to keep...
Fatukasi, 7. Kurt Heinisch, 8. Daniil Hunter, 9. Derek Barnett, he played well last year, 10. Mario Edwards Jr., Solomon Byrd.
Solomon Byrd's not very good.
No. Mario Edwards. So 10 guys, they'll have more than 8 next year. They've got to have more than 8.
They got to have more than 8. I'm looking to see if there was ever a time where they were keeping. Let me check on 901. I think that was before all the cuts. 4, 6,
You got an
8.
embarrassment of riches there on that defensive line now, which was was number one priority. Number one priority. And look at it. Only 1, 2, 3, 4.
In 2022,
5 of the guys were here last year.
Now in 2022, actually they kept 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
They kept 10.
Yeah.
In 22 with Lovey. You want to keep the best players in this particular instance, I think you have to keep more than 8. There's just too many good football players.
Only 5 of them were here last year, and Derek Barnett didn't get here till late in the season.
So I would say Derek Barnett is your third rusher, so he'll make the team. I think Dylan Horton.
Danico Autry's your third rusher.
Well, he's listed as a defensive tackle right now.
Well, he's not. I mean, unless you bring him inside on passing situations, okay.
I don't know. I just know Anderson, Fatukasi, Autry, Hunter, they're going to make it. I would say Derek Barnett probably makes it.
Settle makes it.
I don't know that Mario Edwards is a lock. I think Khalil Davis has a better shot than Edwards. Settle probably makes it. Fatukasi and Settle at that position in the middle. Marcus Harris, one of these guys is going to the injury list. And remember now, Marcus Harris was a 7th-round pick, so a lot of people passed on him. There's a decent chance he could get cut and put on practice squad. You just don't play him much in the preseason. Don't let anyone see him. You cut him, stash him on practice squad. Because if somebody picks him up, they have to, it's either going to be for their practice squad or they have to pick him up from, they pick him up and put him on the roster. Feldarius Payne is an undrafted free I like a lot. He'll end up on the practice squad is my guess. I don't know, John. Man, they have to keep at least 10. Ali Gay isn't going to make it. So Khalil Davis will probably make it. Maybe Marcus Harris. I guess he takes Kurt Heinisch's place.
No, Heinisch has been here, and Heinisch has actually performed.
So I'll say Mario Edwards out, Khalil Davis in. There's Derek Barnett, Settle, and Houston. So Houston, to me, the ones I would circle would be Dylan Houston from a health standpoint. He didn't play all last year.
Dylan Horton. I
mean, Mario Edwards, I think he's one you circle a little bit. Boy, the Texans have a lot of 285 to 290-pound defensive tackles. Kurt Heinisch, just because you can get maybe a little cheaper with Marcus Harris. I don't know how much cheaper. I mean, Heinisch is still on a rookie deal. He wasn't even drafted. He's an undrafted free. I don't even know what his contract is. So, yeah, it's a good problem to have.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some legitimate NFL talent in your
Dylan Horton
your 8.
played last year.
Not a lot.
No, he came in the end of the season, or was it?
No, because he disappeared.
Yeah,
because he was sick, and you just didn't know. Last year, he had a total of 13 tackles.
Yeah. Okay. So now linebacker. I mean, they got to listen. This is a problem the Texans have not had in a long time. A lot of good football players. Christian Harris, lock. Jamal Hill, probably a lock. Or maybe
I like him
squad.
because he is a plus special teams player.
Yeah.
So I think so too.
Aziz, yes.
Lock.
Toto,
probably so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Neville Hewitt,
nope.
Delshon Phillips,
nope.
Jacob Phillips,
nope. They just added him.
Yeah. I mean,
well, maybe.
I mean,
Jake Hanson's
that's
a good. So Jake Hanson's a special teams guy. Jamal Hill is he played safety, and he's only played 1 year at linebacker. But man, does he flash in that year! He just doesn't. He can't read it right yet. But he runs in a 4.4s. He can cover. So he has third down value. He runs like the wind. He will smack you, and he can play special teams. Like he's gonna make it. And that's a handpicked guy from D'Amico Ryans. D'Amico handpicks him, so he's making it. Jamal Hill. So Christian Harris, Aziz. I guess. To me, I wouldn't start 2-0. I wouldn't have him as a starting strong side linebacker. We'll see. Maybe Delshon Phillips is better than I think. Maybe Jake Hansen can be.
Jake Hansen has been sticking around.
Yeah. He's one of those good backup special teams guys, too.
Yep. Derek Stingley, Lonnie Johnson, Kamari Lassiter, Jeff Okudah, C.J. Henderson, Desmond King, Miles Bryant.
So last year to start the season, the Texans carried, they carried 8 total defensive backs.
Total defensive backs?
Yeah.
Well,
seems a little light, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's 7 right there, just corners.
Let me look at 11.
And I don't think CJ and Okudah both make the team. Either that or Lonnie Johnson.
Oh, no, I'm wrong. 2, 4, 6,
Yeah.
8, 9. I got to look at nickelbacks. Okay, 9, and then let me look at what they were carrying on 10-1. They were carrying 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Yeah.
10 total.
Okay, so there's 7. Jimmy Ward, MJ Stewart, Jalen Petrie, Eric Murray, and Kalen Bullock. And what about Houston Carson?
Nope. I mean, thank you for your service last year, but.
Well, he ended up being a starter.
Stingley, Petrie, Ward, Okudah, Lassiter, all making it. So that's 5.
King?
No, I said King. Wait, Stingley, Petrie, Ward, Okudah, Lassiter, that's 5. Kalen Bullock, unless there's an injury, quote unquote, 6. I think C.J. Henderson's fighting for a spot. Desmond King probably makes it because he can also return kicks, but
well, he's a
veteran.
He was gone last year,
but
and
he
then
also,
brought him back.
yeah, you know what? I mean, he only plays slot only, so I don't think he's a lock. Lonnie Johnson's not a lock. Eric Murray or Lonnie Johnson's probably fighting for one of the spots.
Do Okudah and Henderson make the team? I can see one of them going.
I could see them both making it.
Yeah,
I could see them both making it. Mike Ford is the one he's a special teams guy, so Mike Ford may not be a lot. Chris Boyd will have a tough time. Miles Bryant will have a tough time. D'Angelo Ross, Troy Pride from Notre Dame. I like MJ Stewart. He could make it. Former corner turned safety. Yeah, I mean, man, it's so weird looking at this roster. I'm like, hey, these are pretty good. That's not bad to have this guy. Not bad to have this guy. Before it was just a bunch of players that nobody would take on their teams as a backup.
Yeah.
You have a lot of guys here that will be, Eric Murray could go to another team and be a backup somewhere. Desmond King could for sure. So yeah, it's not bad. There's going to be some tough cuts. This is going to be, it's been kind of boring getting through camp because just a bunch of bad players for the most part. This year, camp battles, like this is going to be a big Houston Texan offseason or camp. We're going to talk a lot about them in August because A, we'll see what the Astros are doing, but B, man, going into the year, there's high expectations. There's actually real camp battles at multiple positions. There's going to be some good players or some pretty good players cut. There'll be some surprise cuts. This is for the very first time I think we're going to be saying, man, we're going to really be paying attention to cut down instead of which terrible player are they keeping in place of another terrible player?
All right. Ooh, some news came out about draft day and who turned down what. That's interesting. We'll do that on the other side. Right now, I'm doing Chastang Ford, and because I'm a big fan. I really am a big fan of Chastang Ford, and I put my money where my mouth is. I bought 2 vehicles from them already. I bought my Explorer from them, and then I got the F-150 Lightning from them, and I love both my vehicles, and I love what they did for me. I love my car. I love my truck. This is the favorite vehicle I've ever had in my life. This is like my 3rd or 4th F-150. JT's got an F-150 as well. And now the only place that I will get my F-150 on is at Chastang Ford, because I know the deal that I'm going to get, be it a pre-owned vehicle where I'm going to get the best rate because I'm getting they're certified, gold certified. There's a bunch of them out on the lot, and that means you can get the best financing available. Or the new vehicle, where that's what I bought. I bought a new one from them, bought 2 new ones from them, as a matter of fact, and loved them both. I got them the way I wanted them. You'll get them the way that you wanted them. I got it at the price that I had to have. I got it at the monthly that I had to have. It's awfully important to them. And no add-ons, no markups, never. I did it that way. I hope you do too, and you will be part of the Chastang family and love it. ChastangFord.com on 610 at Homestead, not Hempstead. It's just 5 minutes from downtown Chastang Ford.
You're listening to Houston's longest-running sports radio morning show. From the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's John and Lance.
The Jaguars released Zay Jones and Joey Sly. Zay Jones gone.
Wide receiver kicker.
Yeah.
Well, they added some wide receiver help, so not a.
Didn't they draft Brian Thomas?
Yeah, Brian Thomas. A lot of people poo-pooed that pick.
Yeah, I think it was a good one.
Yeah.
You got to. I mean, he's the best available on the board to me, and height, weight, speed. Like, there's questions about everyone. So behind the scenes, Malik Neighbors is a dog, and plays hard, super competitive. And Brian Thomas is just kind of like, whatever. I'll just go along. But he had 17 touchdowns. He's big and fast and has ball skills and 17 touchdowns, but he did last a little longer than expected. But if you're going to get the most out of Trevor Lawrence, because like Trevor Lawrence is going to get a max deal. Trevor Lawrence is going to get a ton of money, and you better do something to make yourself feel better about it.
Man,
so give him some weapons.
Did you see they just picked up Trevor Lawrence's fifth-year option yesterday?
Yeah.
It seems like he's been in the league longer than that.
21, that fateful 21 draft.
Wasn't very good.
He's the only quarterback who hasn't been traded.
So the Vikings offered the Patriots the 11th and 23rd overall picks, plus their 2025 first-rounder in exchange for number 3 and 2 mid-round selections.
They wouldn't trade back.
You think the Patriots will regret that?
Maybe. Yeah, they could with Drake May there, but
is there a chance?
Supposedly, no one could get up. Like I started making calls and finding out Patriots going to be a stick and pick. I said, really? I said, yeah. No one can move up. No one's willing to trade out of there, and that's because Atlanta had a plan, which we didn't know at the time. Jim Harbaugh was thinking about trading. There was a team trying to trade up and get Malik Neighbors, and Jim Harbaugh just said, "I'm staying here."
Yeah,
we're getting my offensive lineman. He just wouldn't trade out. So 5 wouldn't trade out. 3 wouldn't trade out. Marvin Harrison, Arizona realized we got to start picking players. They wouldn't trade out. I don't know about the Titans, hadn't heard, and Atlanta wouldn't trade out because the Rams tried to trade up to get Byron Murphy at number 8. And the Rams wanted to make a big jump up to get Byron Murphy, and they couldn't put a deal together. So that was a problem, is people weren't willing to deal out of the top 10.
Is there any chance that the Patriots are this year's Robert Griffin, Kirk Cousins? Did you see they picked Drake May their third and Joe Milton?
I don't think Joe Milton is Kirk Cousins. Little less accurate. And by the way, if you look at Joe Milton and you didn't watch football and you just want to try to judge a book by its cover and go, well, I mean, that's a running option, or he could be a tight end. He doesn't run.
He said, I'm not going to tight end.
He said, no, he's not about that life.
No.
Like Bucky said on the broadcast, that man doesn't want to run. No. He doesn't want to get hit. You think he wants to put his hand in the ground and start running into people on a regular basis? No. He's not about that physical life, and he's not a runner. Like, he doesn't run. He doesn't run as a quarterback. I know you look at him and you want to think Cam Newton or a little bit of Dante Culpepper coming out. That's not who he is. He's a guy who can throw it 77 yards in the air, and that's it. He's not accurate. He can do backflips and he can throw it far. That's the things he does backflips, throws it really far. That's about it.
It's yeah, and I was just joking.
No, I know you were.
I was joking.
I know you were, but picking him 6th, there's a much better chance that John Reese Plumlee, who apparently came into my direct messages saying, "Hey, I'm a big fan of the stuff you do," because I left a message for him one time about, has anyone talked to you about playing anything other than quarterback? Because when I saw him, he's a good runner. He went to Ole Miss and then he went to UCF. This dude's a really good runner with the ball in his hands. Ran for 1,000 yards at Ole Miss, something like that, close to it.
And he's a baseball player.
Yeah.
He is a beast.
And he said, and Dell, you need to take note of some of the stuff he said here in terms of showing proper respect. Yeah. This is something for you to take note of, because this is a guy who's a professional football player. He's a multi-sport athlete.
Well, not yet.
And these are the things he says about me. Hey, Lance, love what you do and appreciate you a ton for reaching out. A lot of teams wanted me at quarterback wide receiver, but not the Steelers. And I said, yeah, I told Omar I thought he had a great draft and loved that he grabbed you up as an undrafted free agent. He goes, appreciate that, man. Heart. And then he did a heart thing of what I said.
You want me to write?
So I just want you to pay attention to this.
To you?
I love what you do, and I appreciate you a ton for reaching out.
Well, he doesn't know you.
This is a guy who's a professional football player.
Not yet, he isn't.
Yeah, he's in the yes, he has signed a contract.
No, he hasn't.
Well, he has an agreement in principle.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he's an undrafted free agent. He has
he's agreed
to a financial amount.
That's true.
He's coming in. It's probably a record amount.
I'm sure.
And so
what do you want
what
me
he
to do?
doesn't know is that he eventually will be a wide receiver.
I bet.
He doesn't know this yet. So we're going white quarterback, position switch wide receiver.
We've seen that before.
I am what's called progressive.
Julian Edelman.
A lot of
did
people
that.
are afraid to do that, but I will do that.
You're not. That's not new.
I called it though. I move quarterbacks
Edelman
from
did
wide
that.
receiver, and I'm going to move black wide receivers to quarterback.
You're never going to
because
do that.
I am the progressive draft guy.
Who are you going to move from receiver to quarterback? Malik Washington?
No, it's too short.
Okay.
I am going to move
Javon
Johnny
Baker?
Wilson there.
You think Javon Baker
Johnny
can play
Wilson.
quarterback for the chart? I mean, for the Patriots.
Javon Baker's
That's a
really
rarer
pissed off.
move.
It never happened.
It's not. There's no such thing as that move.
Well, Ryan Tannehill did it, but he's white though.
Yeah.
But he's
Ryan
white.
Tannehill.
But he's not black.
Quarterback, wide receiver, quarterback.
But he's not black. He's white.
Yeah, but he's
You
got
said
flavor.
black wide receiver.
He's an Aggie. He's got a lot of flavor.
Well,
Jordan Travis did it. He was like a all-purpose dude at one point, and then
Braxton Miller?
he was quarterback, then wide receiver.
Yeah.
Did he go to the USFL at any point?
I don't know that.
John Reese Plumlee is like, I don't love him as a quarterback. I didn't want to tell him that, but it's in the scouting report. He must have seen it. But I do think that, like, you can do some fun stuff with him. An option on goal lines, on third down, like, those guys like that are going to have a value if you are willing to keep a third quarterback that's kind of a gimmicky player. But Taysom Hill's tremendously valuable.
Not at that contract.
No,
price.
well, that's why people can't figure out. Oh, did he get a good contract?
Yes.
Yeah.
Larger than what he provides.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, that's the thing is, only certain games.
Yeah.
If you pick right in fantasy football, if you do daily fantasy and you pick Taysom right on just the right day, you can make out as a tight end.
So what do you want me to do? You want me to show you respect? Is that what you're asking for?
Well, I'm just saying, this is what professional football people are saying.
And
hey, Lance, I love what you do, and I appreciate you. And I appreciate you a ton for reaching out.
Do you want me
this is a pro player, a former SEC 2 sports
Is he
star.
going to make the roster?
Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah. Do I need to use the emojis he's using too? Like if I text you about something, do you want a heart emoji?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want one too?
Yeah.
John, you want one too?
I do. I always want a heart emoji.
From you, yeah.
Yeah, always. 927 ESPN
There's a
97.5 and
0%
92.5.
chance that you send.
This is the emoji you'll get.
Well, if we send you something and you like it, you need to put a heart.
The white one, Del?
No, I'll make sure it's brown. I'll make sure I'll find the correct skin tone, and it'll be this.
Find the right hair for you. You know where the right hair is? It's on the side of your head. It's on the back of your head. That's where it is. And Doc Linville can move it to the top of your head. You're starting to go bald. You're starting to really thin in the back. You're starting to get a 5 head. What? Doc Linville's here for you. Doc Linville has got a great process. He's going to give you a square deal. It's going to be a really good deal. He's very competitive with the entire market. But here's the thing. He's not going to do the neografting if all you need is the PRP. The PRP is a much simpler process. It just stimulates your own growth. Sometimes it just start that way. You're thinning, but you know what? Let's get in here and let's start working on it so that it doesn't get any worse. That's something too. If you're starting to feel like, wow, my hair's getting thinner, my hair's getting thinner, what? Do something about it. Get the PRP, and the doc will probably recommend that. Oh, if you're bald, that's another story. Then the neografting is here for you. But let Doc decide that. It's what he does, okay? So you're looking for a great way to have hair again. 975hair.com. That's 975hair.com.
Hey, so here's the thing with the club. The club is the name of what they do at Texas Star Grill Shop, where you join the club. You can go online. There's a newsletter, and they tell you about all the special offers they have. If you're big into barbecue, if you're big into living your life outdoors on your grill, you got to join the club because they have great prices and great opportunities for you to get unbelievable deals, including on pizza ovens, on outdoor wood pellet grills, gas grills. Did you know that they can build out a kitchen for you? They can design it absolutely free. The design is free, but they can build out the kitchen for you as well. But the great thing about joining the club is it doesn't cost you anything, and you get great offers, first access to unbelievable discounts they have. They're going to beat other locations with price. Nobody is going to beat their price on any of the grills that they're selling. That's how they do it. They're the largest provider of grills, the barbecue shop here in the city of Houston. But the great thing is it's multiple shops. And Texas Star Grill Shop is where I first started getting serious into the outdoor grilling, and they have been incredible. They have very knowledgeable people on staff that will help you find the right grill for you, the right pizza oven, which is turning into a huge thing. But don't forget about your seasonings, your marinades, and pizza stones, different types of meat thermometers. Anything you can imagine is all in one shop. It's the one-stop shop. It's Texas Star Grill Shop. Go to 975grills.com. That's 975grills.com.
You're back in the Veritex Community Bank Studios with John and Lance.
On ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
30,000s. Welcome back here on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5, 933, 713-780-3776. What did we miss? We talked to you about we got Joey Loperfido. We haven't heard yet who's getting cut, right? It'll probably happen on your show, Del. But
I hope we do. I hope it does happen. Love some breaking news on that show.
Yeah. So you got to keep on listening here.
Breaking news: John Singleton stinks. He's gone. Is that what's going to happen?
That's not
is that
breaking news.
Is
John
that how they're going to
Singleton
announce
stinks.
it? Are they going to announce he's terrible? He's gone.
What if it's? I mean, it could be somebody else.
It could be.
There is no way it's Abreu.
No, Jim Crane won't allow that.
No, I don't think there's any way. He did get 2 hits the other day.
Well, it doesn't
I don't think it'll be
Mexico.
I don't think it'll be Jake. I don't think it'll be Grit. It won't be Kessinger.
Are they going to carry 3 guys who shouldn't be first basemen on the major league level?
That's the problem. But Joey could play outfield too.
Okay.
Joey can play outfield, so Jake would make more sense than Greg Kessinger. You need another infielder. I mean, besides Dubon. Dubon's playing center field. What do you do if when you want to give a day off to an infielder? Now you're forced to play either Abreu at first for Loperfido in the outfield, or you're forced to play Jake Myers in the outfield.
What great options!
Not great. So
are we?
It almost has to.
It
be
has
Singleton.
to be Singleton. Right?
It almost has to.
And
be
that
Singleton.
means he's out of here completely.
Yeah.
Correct. Well,
yeah.
We'll see if that news breaks.
I mean, I just don't understand the whole, and Espada likes him now. Espada pretty much was forced because how bad Abreu has been.
He had to play someone.
But he was pinch hitting in the first game of the year. He pinch hit Singleton for Jake Myers, who homered. I mean, didn't get that. I didn't understand that at all. I think Espada likes him. You might have to take him away from him. You might have to take Singleton away from him. Just like
he's a whoopee?
Well, yeah. Just like Miles Straw had to be taken away from Dusty. He had to be taken away.
And just like Pudding and Custard had to be taken away from Chaz.
Well, Chaz was better actually when he was eating a lot when he was fatter.
Dusty had a plan. Give Chaz Pudding, he'll play better.
He did. I mean, he ain't playing for Espada. Espada don't bring him no food.
Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Chaz needs to be warm and fuzzy because he's got food in his tummy, and then he'll go out there and hit.
Yeah, I'm not playing for our restaurant this week.
Well, Highway Cantina. We love them, and they're coming by.
Well, they're not bringing food to me.